Hello, welcome back to Baba Yaga's Dancing Hut, the Witch Hunters. And the hunt does continue, but not for the witch itself, but perhaps for the loot goblin now. As last episode, we did encounter the blight of the hut, the thief that's stealing everything. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Before that, the session began with the group preparing to take their long sleep, and it seems as though Grizz once again had this recurring nightmare. Except though, it seems like he may have a better understanding of his dreams at least after having been read the book by Tanner. There was a good bonding moment between Tanner and Grizz, kind of solidifying a friendship as Tanner does his best to help Grizz understand what he's going through, and why he's so superhuman. It seems. Although, Tanner, you couldn't quite get to the bottom of what his race actually was. It's something that you perhaps might look into later on and pick up a book on the human races. I think you did do
Which
that.
I already have, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so that was in the actual recap. I'll get to that. But nonetheless, Grizz, you had this terrible nightmare, and it seemed to depict some sort of child in pain. They had no skin; their flesh was on fire. And as you chased them down a corridor, they screamed, "Help me! Save me!" Before finally you extinguished the flames with your own bare skin. And it seemed as though you felt the pain of the child. And as you turned around to look at you, you asked, "Don't worry, we'll get you some help." And it looked at you with a strange smile and said, "But you're the one who needs help." As you suddenly realized your own skin was gone as well. There was this sound of soaring in the background. There was this weird, I guess, room that had all these equipment in it. It was like saws, utensils. There was bloody floors all over the mess. Sorry, yeah, everything looked like a madman's kind of laboratory, I guess. Either way, whereas you remember as you were sort of looking over your skin, you heard a voice saying, "We're not supposed to be here," before a electric rod was shoved into your chest, which shocked you and pushed you back, and simultaneously knocked you out of the dream. Um, it was only a few moments before you'd actually fallen asleep, and Tanner comes in to check up on you. Seems like you were okay. It was just a nightmare, but you were caught before it got too bad. And eventually, you did find a long rest. Meanwhile, Daya was pacing back and forth, pondering her own situation, and was borrowing the book about dreams. And I believe he looked up comic. Trying to find exactly what thing I used. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it, but I'm pretty sure it was something like an omen, something bad to come. It was also something about letting go of connections. But nonetheless, although you were finding some answers, they weren't the answers you were really questioning. There was more, perhaps deeper ones yet to come. And in your frustration, going back and forth, you accidentally stumbled upon the sounds of footsteps coming down the stairs. You investigated it before seeing this apparition sort of disappear. It was definitely a recognizable person. Could have been one of the hags from the library. Nonetheless, they just completely vanished before your eyes and followed the staircase from where they came. And it seemed to lead to a long staircase which had candles lit every other step in a spiral. Didn't want to go too far without your friends, and so you turned back to your post. You weren't on watch after all. In the end, morning did finally come. You've all had the benefits of that rest, and there were a few duties or chores that you wanted to get done before leaving. So preparations were made. Um, Taro, you had to go collect a few spell components for the day, and that involved going past the library, and that's where you picked up a few more books, asked a few more questions, but nonetheless, you finally found your way to the Tinkerer's Hags. I guess it's some sort of like workshop, you presume. As you came in, you found there was. Oh crap! Totally forgot. That's also the dreamless part where you found. Sorry, Dai. You saw the loot goblin, or at least it was Tyro. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Tyro, you saw some sort of blurry figure that was most definitely not supposed to be here. Nonetheless, it was almost as if it was a dream of your own. You definitely saw something, and it was too fast to get a good bead on. But you most definitely get. I guess you guessed it's the loot goblin. Anyway, back to the workshop. So it seems like as though these guys tinker on all kinds of magical items, wands, wondrous items, you name it. They did offer you the pearl that you were seeking, as well as a crystal for the prismatic spell. However, they wanted you to take those potions that you have, the ones of endless glee, and effectively make sure that they are used in a pranking-like fashion for the other hags, as a set of green hags known as Toil, Boil, Bubble, and Trouble. And of course, they are seemingly at odds with these set of hags. Peggy, Pandora, and the other one. Pigtooth, that was it. Nonetheless, these guys definitely don't want to be the ones who are accused of it, and so we're getting you guys to sort of do it for them. As long as you make sure that they are eventually going to drink it, then you would have considered that your payment. There was also an undead golem in here, which was stitched together, constructed. And you also noticed a few other interesting contraptions that might be up for testing later on. But as the hag said, they're not finished yet. Come back later. Okay. And then finally, you guys began to make your way to the kitchen, I believe. Oh no, that was before. Okay, never mind. Let's have a look. Oh, that's right. Yes, there was another area you found. It was like an abandoned laboratory of sorts. It was old, dusty. It looked like some sort of accident had happened here, as there were scorch marks and bits of debris everywhere. There was some strange sobbing noise coming from the wall. You couldn't find the source of it. Maybe it's a place to come back to once again, sometime later.
I did pop divine sense in there as well.
That's right. You detected the presence of an undead thing. You're not sure what it is because you couldn't get eyes on it, but you sensed it was faint, weak. That's all you gathered from that before you were suddenly distracted by the other hags. All right. After finally going back to the main lobby, Tanner, you introduced Tyra to Quincy, who introduced himself. It seems like he's a note taker of sorts, a scribe, and currently in service to Agatha Grizzlegums. Nonetheless, there's potentially work down the line for him. Other than that, Ember, you yelled at Snurg to fix the table, which still got a huge hole in it. And after that, you opened the door and at long last left the hut. And you, of course, were greeted by this perpetual twilight. You're not sure what time of day it is. Not sure how long you've even been in the hut for. Sort of bewildering to come out into a nighttime, even though you just got up. But the hut seems to be asleep because it's currently sitting on the ground, and the trail out to the Bone Gate is followed, and your mission starts now. All right, so I'll look at that.
Well, we're finally out in the fresh air again. Thank God.
Yeah, I didn't really lose track of time in there. I was pretty sure that I just had breakfast. The moon. I don't understand. Yeah. If I look back at the hut, is the door closed?
The door does close behind you, unless Tyro, you do it yourself.
I'm gonna try something here, just out of curiosity. And I'll just step up to the hut and little hut, show me your door.
The door bursts wide open.
Huh, it works. Daruka's right. Simple as that. Okay, thank you, Mr. Hut. Have a great day. Whatever you get up to, try not to crush anybody. Grizz doesn't like it when, especially if you see Brago too. Let us know. I'm really wondering where he is. All right, cool. Thank you, Mr. Hut. We'll head out now.
I don't think it speaks, Ember.
I wouldn't be so sure, man. Everything's so not as expected. The strangeness of this place I find so unsettling. I just wish I knew what to expect.
I don't think we're ever going to know.
You are very terrifying too, I must say, Mr. Hut. Trying to be less scary. People want to come and see you. They don't want to be scared of you.
You see a gout of flame suddenly erupt from the chimney.
See, Tanner? See? Ah!
It understands you, and it's never a bad idea to make friends with your host, as it were. Unfortunately, I don't think it will be able to deliver reports to us, but, a little courtesy never goes amiss.
Yeah. Courtesy, yeah.
Courtesy. Simple things. What time of day is it? It's nighttime now?
Yeah, apparently it's
Okay.
twilight. Last light.
Okay, gravy.
I think the moon looks in the exact same position as it was when we came in.
Ooh.
It actually is. In fact, you're walking straight towards it. As you're approaching the bone gate, you see your shadow stretching out towards the hut.
What is it that was horrible? Satyr said, walk in the shadow of the moon, or that's to find the hut. So that, see, Tanner, that, the literal, almost as if everything here can be taken as literal. The Satyr said, walk in the shadow of the moon to find the hut, and the hut is in the shadow of the moon. Hey, 1 second. Hang on.
I want to walk like over here. Does the shadow change direction and still face at the hut?
You broke the game. That's it. Error 404.
Game over.
No, it's strange, Ember. You expect to see your shadow sort of stretch and change direction. And it does and it doesn't. It's something you don't notice because the shadow is seemingly pointing in the same direction the whole time. As you look up, look around, from your point of view, the moon is still behind you and still facing, and your shadow is still facing the hut.
Yeah,
that's
see,
weird.
Tanner,
Well,
it's
from
as
your
if,
I'll say that from everyone else's point of view, the moon is still in the same place. You didn't see it move.
I will explain my revelation to Tyro and ask him what he thinks of this.
Baba Yaga's a flat earthist.
Tyro, you said you were, wondering about how this is constructed. I
don't remember going into the astral plane. Shit.
Okay, you said you how this was constructed. Does this make any sense to you? With the way maybe the moon is a prop of some kind. Perhaps it's not even real.
Most of this place is strange to me. I've barely begun to scratch the surface of what could be gleaned from studying such a strange and marvelous construction. So I'm not surprised that we're discovering strange things inside and out.
Yeah, certainly. I think that this might. It would be nice to find a way to connect all these places.
Oh, that's what I'm working on. And he'll open his notebook again and show you, just pages upon pages of intricate diagrams trying to figure out how all of these things work.
You guys really don't want to leave the hut, do you?
Of
Let's
course,
go.
right? Let's go. Yeah. Yes, Chris. Yes.
Thank you,
My
Chris.
bad. My bad.
All good.
One more library book.
There's just so much interesting detail. I can't stop.
Mm,
Sorry.
okay, so I will say, as you approach the bone gate, you suddenly hear the cracking of teeth as they all align.
Hello.
You are leaving.
For the
Yes,
time
yes.
Will you be returning?
We will, and we would like an appointment upon our return.
But of course.
being. I don't think we need an appointment if we're guests of the hut. The Bone Mother
Well, we
said
can
it
always-
herself.
We can always cancel it later. But, I don't know, last time we didn't have an appointment, and the hut acted like a real jerk, so perhaps this time it'll be a bit more accommodating.
Well,
It's a very scary hut, Tanner. I would really like an appointment.
Well, I guess all that we can do is ask. The Bone Gate, that if
hear it-
unless you
yeah,
have a name.
You
named it, didn't we?
name it, didn't you, last time? Oh, what was it? Illy Bob or something? I can't remember. You definitely named it. I think it was you who named it as well.
I don't know. If it was me, then it would be something like Skelly Dave or something.
Skeledor.
Skeledor!
Skeledor.
Yes! Okay, its new name is Skeledor.
Okay, got it.
Yes, I believe you named me Skeledor.
Perfect. Well, Skeledor, we shall be returning to the hut as soon as we've dealt with business for the Bone Mother herself. So I assume that you'll keep your... He kind of looks around to the skeletons above, or the heads above the fence. Friends in check, so we don't get blasted on re-entry.
It chuckles. Says, no, that would be rude.
Much appreciated. He'll give it a nod.
It's funny you call the hut a thing as if it has a tantrum. It is actually a lifeless construct, but with a life of its own, I guess. That's a contradiction, but don't think too hard on it.
Ember, don't think too hard on it. Don't think too hard on it. Stop thinking. You're thinking hard about it.
Okay.
No loitering, and you see two eyes like glowing
Okay.
in the skulls.
What's that? A giant hand in the sky pushing us. We better move.
Let's go.
All right. So you guys head out past the trail, and eventually find yourselves deep within the Gloom Glen. That's going to take you back to the old world now.
Hey.
All right. Okay. What have we got? Okay. So, my question is to you guys: where is it you're planning on heading?
Is that where the Goblin Cave is?
Where are you pointing?
Over there.
Hold on.
Just northeast of
thing.
Gloom Glen.
I don't know what that is. Oh, I mean, it looks like something. Sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you heard there was a mountainous area and perhaps Goblin caves somewhere, and they're the ones.
Maybe
That,
over there. There's like a little hole there.
There's also one right next to it, right there.
there's many little holes. But what I'm asking you is, how are you doing this without the overhead map? How are you going to navigate towards, or maybe find tracks, or look for a more craggy area? It's up to you guys.
I can Grizz try and find some tracks that would be similar to those of goblins.
Yeah.
I'll
Absolutely.
give a hand with this.
Okay, so you can roll your survival check.
Can I have Boots help him out and look
And,
for?
and yeah, he's got
Goblin tracks.
advantage. Okay, 15. Not bad.
All 15.
A what? Both? Yeah. Even with advantage. All right, so looking around, trying to find tracks that resemble small little humanoids. I think you did see these before, perhaps when you were coming in and exploring God's Fair Forest. So you know what you're looking for, Grizz, and you don't see any on what's it called, on the actual soil of the Gloom Glen itself. And you kind of look around the edges, across any plants and such. This place has been meticulously tended to by these strange plant-like creatures. Remember these things? And they go around straightening every blade of grass, and it's making it impossible to find tracks. However, as you come to the very edge of the Gloom Glen, you look over the precipice where that illusionary bridge perhaps once was, and you notice there are, I guess, bits of broken bone shards all the way to the base. You can just see some sort of like rib cage, perhaps, or maybe a femur or something. They look like discarded bones, perhaps, not like the actual bones of a goblin, but it's a sure sign of goblins because they're messy creatures. They don't usually just, you know, they usually just throw their litter wherever. And it's usually a craggy environment that goblins like to live in. Sometimes they can be in bogs, but if they're tunneling goblin, and this is definitely a kind of sure sign of them.
Okay, Grizz will point that out. Right, look over there, guys. I think there's been some goblins that way. It looks like they've been having quite a feast here.
Perfect. Good
Yeah.
work, Grizz.
Head there. I guess they said that the goblins were underground or something of that nature. So perhaps that's a good place to start.
Yeah, if it's tunneling goblins that we're looking for, I think we're definitely on the right track.
Lead the way, Tanner, Grizz. It'd be really nice to get away from this hut. Yeah, this is great. I finally feel a little at ease here. It's been a while since I.
Yep, let's go.
Good. Good.
Follow the trail.
Okay. All right. So how are you going to get down there? That's the next question. Is you see that the Gloom Glen steeply descends in a cliff, and you're on the other side of once where you were with the tree folk. So the real challenge is how are you going to get down?
Right, it's a bit of a drop, guys. So unless any of you can fly, I think.
Well, I should be able to manage some of this. Daya, you're a pretty good climber, right?
I can certainly try. If someone wants to give me some rope, we can.
How deep is it? Like,
Of
at the
course.
drop?
I think I mentioned last time it's something like 80 foot down, probably more.
Alright, okay.
So if we have 2 bits of rope, I can tie it off together and lower Dyer down.
I have a coil of rope. Sarah will
Perfect.
open up his back and hand it over.
Awesome.
I will do the same.
All right, I'm gonna start by making some knots in the rope to make it easily climbable.
Oh yeah,
And,
good idea.
I can climb down last so I can hold on to the rope, just like an anchor.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Is there a tree we can anchor it to, or
Yeah, there are trees on this side.
might be best to have all of us mobile?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so prepare the rope, knot it to a tree, and toss it over, and I'm going to climb down.
Okay. Di, can you make me a survival check with Dex? So instead of adding your usual wisdom, add a Dex instead.
Okay, so
It's my new used rope skill.
I use that too, Chris, in my games. I'll do checks, but using different stats. Fun.
There we go. So this is effectively like a used rope, and you secure it around a sturdy-looking tree, the one that's not going to uproot at your weight, and you also tied a very specific knot that will not fray and won't slack.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and with that as well, you've created perfectly spaced knots all the way down, making it very easy to climb down. And I'll say with little effort, you make it to the bottom and kind of dust yourself off, as occasionally the descent kind of made you scrape against the wall itself. It's kind of very chalky in places, but yeah, you're gonna dust that off either way.
Okay, and what do I see around me at the bottom here? Is
Roll
there...
a perception check. This is the first one down here.
Oh god.
It's a
8.
rocky,
Okay.
craggy terrain. Not many signs that you can pick up on. There are those bones that Grizz picked out or pointed out.
Yeah.
There's not much more to it than that. Of course, this is a circular crevasse which goes all the way around the Gloom Glen, and thus it's also, there's probably more things around the other side, but you can't see around the curvature
Yeah.
of the crevasse.
Okay, so I'll shout out to the others that I don't see any dangers yet, but we should all keep alert, and if they want to come down, they would be welcome.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna kind of go as far along the curve as I can without losing sight of the rope, and just see if I can peek around the corner and get any forewarning about anything coming.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. You keep edging round, and the others are descending. Dyer's made it very easy for you to get down, so I'm not going to have you make a roll, especially if you're going down. It's a lot less work than going up.
Okay,
And
because I was scared
not-
about to burn a spell slot, so you just saved me.
Yeah, no, that was a good survival check. So I'm going to say that with some careful climbing, you do make it down. It's like climbing a ladder, but with one rung, I guess. So you've all kind of made it to the bottom now, and it's quite quiet down here. You're expecting to hear maybe the sounds of animals or something, but you do notice that a single sound, even just a couple of like pebbles falling from the top as you climb off the edge, seem to echo around. And it doesn't just echo off the walls, it seems to echo all the way around, such that when you get to the bottom and start talking to each other, it's almost like you're hearing the voice from behind you. Like you're hearing the person's voice, and then the echo comes from behind you. Because it may have gone all the way around the actual thing.
This sound thing is pretty unsettling. I think I'm gonna. Someone make sure that we don't, get snuck up on. We won't know which way the enemy is coming from.
Yes.
I don't know.
I can take the rear to make sure nothing comes up.
I can have cahoots fly above us if that would be helpful.
That would
That would
actually
be
be very...
Pretty cool. Yeah, Cahoots is so fun.
And unfortunately, while we won't be able to sneak up on anything, it also means that anything trying to sneak up on us will be at a disadvantage.
That is true.
Still,
Is there
keep
any
your eyes
sounds of
open.
animals? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if like there's any other sounds other than us. Like, is there animals or
Nope. In fact,
just silence? Okay.
I'll say as you're going around, you can all make me perception checks, and the sound is deafeningly quiet. Like again, it seems as though the natural wildlife has become distant. Perhaps they've abandoned this place, knowing that there's something strange about it. You remember on the outskirts of the forest, there were some signs of life, but the deeper you got, the less natural life there was.
Come on, guys. It's perfectly safe. As you can hear, there's nothing around us, so there could possibly be no danger.
Chris, does it seem to go like like the Gloom Glen is full of life, but as we climb down, is it like a strong, like here's life and here's no life, or is it kind of gradual?
Well, when you say life, yeah, there was plenty of activity within the Gloom Glen, but that was all strange Fey-like creatures. As you come down deeper into here, no, it just gets quieter and quieter. Although some of you are picking up on something, not less a sound and more of a vibration, a movement in the soles of your feet, Tanner, probably shaking through your armor. There's an occasional tremor, just barely detectable. But you don't hear it, you just kind of feel it. A vibration through the earth, rattling your tin can.
Ember, you don't have to be afraid anymore. You can stop shaking.
It's not me. Not this time. I feel that too, though. What is that little shake? A little like an earthquake, or is that the Stone Song? Maybe we're in the right place.
I wouldn't have thought the Stone Song would be as literal. Do you know what? Ignore that statement.
Spoke drum bass.
I remember it has to do with. Actually, no, I don't remember shit. Never mind.
Oh, dude.
Player remembers that it has to do with the goblins
Yeah.
literally having this volcano speaking to them in some manner. Like it
It probably
way.
has to do with something to do with the goblin speaking to
Thank
the
you.
volcano. Don't you remember, Ember?
What? No, I don't know anything about that.
It's right here in your notes.
Oh, cool. I didn't know I made notes. That's great. Yeah.
I got you, bro.
Oh man.
This perhaps we're in the right place then. Perhaps we are where we need to be. Although, have you noticed that have you noticed that this hut seems to, just when you're in this area, you just seem to find yourself in the right place almost. It's very bizarre. Like I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like wherever we go, where we need to be. It's.
I'll tell you what, funny
you
enough,
feel it.
Ember, you can roll me a wisdom check. Because you are pointing out something that is peculiar.
I'm not good at wisdom checks, but you know what? Am I allowed to use my chaos?
Arcana. Yeah, you could. I'll even say you could even actually use Arcana as well for this.
Well, that would be much better. I will
Yeah.
do this with advantage with my Tides of Chaos.
Okay.
A lot of 15s today.
Nice.
A lot of 15s, isn't there? Yeah. Okay, you're primed.
I'm primed.
Now, there's a lot of weird things you don't know about the Feywild. Things that break logic, things that break magic. But one thing seems to be evident so far is that emotions have sometimes manifested a little stronger than usual. You've seen an emotion of fear. You felt that, definitely. You felt an emotion of being lost. And you're also feeling an emotion of wherever of what you want to find, you'll eventually find it. It's like an emotion of seeking something out. And yet, here you are, kind of in the right place.
It's like
You're
we
not
never
sure-
guess wrong. It's weird. It's like we're
You're
trying
not
to,
sure-
like going through these doors and whatever, and we always just end up where we want to be. Like even though it's incredibly labyrinth.
True.
Yeah, it just strikes me as odd.
You start to think maybe the Feywild, a plane of emotions, there's actually power in emotions. Maybe they govern what actually happens in the world. Just a clue, but I'm not going to go deeper into that than that on a 15. But you get a clue.
Very
as to
interesting.
that. And nonetheless, we're going to keep pushing on. And as you go around the corner, the rest of you do start to hear something as well. But Tanner, you're acutely aware of something more than that as well. That the tremors, that is. But
Yeah.
the tremors also seem to be getting louder. You start to hear, everyone starts to hear this sort of snorting noise. kind of like grunting,
Huh.
and everyone suddenly hears a ear-piercing squeal, and it seems to come from behind you. And at first, Tanner, you look around, getting ready to protect the rear, and there's nothing coming up the tunnel.
That sounds like
Uh,
bacon.
Sounds like- But instead, Cahoots, you're the one looking down at the group. And although people suddenly turn around to see what's behind them because of the echo making it sound like it's coming from behind, it's actually directly in front of the group. And you can see it charging around the corner. A large boar-like creature with, I say like creature because it's unlike a normal wild boar. Its horns, or its tusks even, seem to be spiked and curled at the tips. And it is charging round at full speed towards the group.
Ah! What the?
Oh,
Ah!
no.
Flames in
how-
hand. Yeah.
How wide is the like the space?
Wide enough that you could get up against the walls, but
Like a 20 feet, 10.
how long did I say the bridge was? It was at least like 15 or 20 foot. Yeah, I'm gonna say about 15 foot down here.
Okay, I'm gonna use the Castellan staff to or expend a charge to put up a wall in front of it.
Oh god, it's okay. That's a 10-foot wide wall, right?
I was just looking that up. It's one charge per 10-foot wide section. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's all look. Where is this thing? Oh, here it is. Okay. The huge boar comes hurtling around the corner, and it alone is probably about 10 foot. Well, it fills a space of 10 foot from tusk to tusk, but the actual boar itself is probably more like 5 foot wide. But nonetheless, it's a huge ass boar, and it comes charging around the corner.
Oh my god.
Can you even see this? Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, cool. We just get rid of that. Cool. All right, cool. So this boar comes charging around the corner, filling the gap. The wall comes up in front of it, and it starts charging, and crashes straight into it. I'm gonna roll its damage and hit.
And I'll say, I don't know how much longer that'll hold it, but prepare yourself.
Yeah. Can you talk to it, Grizz? For Forest Common, see what the hell its problem is. We haven't done nothing to it. Maybe it's
Excuse me.
hungry. I know it might be really tasty. You could be right. I could fry it up proper.
Produce flaming hands ready for this boar if it is able to get through the Castellan staff wall.
It seems like it hit a real heavy thud, but it hasn't charged through it.
Maybe it's hungry, but the problem is I've only got bacon, so
I think it might get insulted by
I
that.
was,
yeah, that's what
I
I'm
was
thinking.
That'd be
thinking
pretty
the same thing,
funny.
Might be in poor taste to offer bacon to that thing.
Maybe Tyro, offer it Cahoots, and then at last second, make Cahoots disappear, and we could run. I don't know. Bad-looking boar.
Or a minor illusion to distract it in the other direction.
Oh, interesting. Tyro nods at Jaya. What would a boy like this be scared of, though, or what would make it run over there?
Baba Yaga.
A bigger
You-
boar.
You hear the boar getting up to its feet again. It seems to be shaking its tusks. You can see the end of each tip on either side of the wall. Grunts a
Can-
few more times.
Yeah, I'll take Daya's suggestion and can we see like beyond the wall, like
You can see
further down the tunnel?
Yeah, because the wall is only 10 foot wide, I'll say that there is a gap of about 2.5 foot on either side.
I think I'll. I don't really know if I can do. I guess we've heard Baba Yaga speak, so I'll. Sure, I'll I think Tara will feel a little bit nervous about imitating Baba Yaga herself. Like maybe that's sort of a verboten thing to do, but maybe he'll try for Agatha Gristlegums instead, and he'll sort of point to a space as far as he can down the tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll say, "Get back here, you mangy four-legged beast!" And it'll be in Agatha Gristlegum's voice.
Okay, and it's coming from behind it.
Yeah, like ahead of us, but
Yeah.
behind the board. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So as you create this illusion, you hear another squeal. Sounds panicked. Griswold, you can roll an insight check. Only because you spoke to animals before, and you might understand it. But Tyra, this is not a small beast, so I'm going to say you don't understand it. But Grizz might.
Oh, I'm not trying to talk to it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can Grizz try and tame this?
You could definitely try, but just roll me an insight to detect what it's trying to do, because you've heard.
Yeah, I mean, Grizz has done a fair bit of, hunting before.
Yeah.
And just insight.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Ooh.
It sounds very panicked. It sounds like it's scared of something coming up from behind it, and it's trying its best to scramble over the wall. Doesn't look like it's charging in a fury. It sounds like, it's trying to escape, and you can tell that by its tusks are like trying to hook onto the top of the wall and trying to jump over it. It's not really necessarily busting the thing down, just trying to get past.
Right. Hang on a second, guys. It looks really scared. I think he's trying to get away from something. Hang on a sec. Hey.
Doesn't
hey,
want to kill us?
I don't think so. I mean, boars aren't usually, they don't usually like to kill things. They like, I don't know, like weeds and poo.
Yours sound really boring.
With meat. But I think, okay, I'm gonna try and I don't know, tame it. Tyro, when I say so, do you think you can drop that wall around it, and then I'm gonna see if I can either tame it or, get it to leave. Okay, and then Grizzly
Yeah.
first.
You
Uh,
could, Grizz, yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know if it works like that.
Wait,
I'm
so
reading the.
so the wall is literally just an actual wall between us and the.
It is, yes. It's a 10-foot wall.
Is there a gap?
There is a gap. You can get past it, but the wall is too wide. It can't.
Okay.
It's
Does
tusks.
the boar appear to be
Yeah.
something that Grizz can carry?
It's much bigger than you, but
Much bigger.
yeah, it's bigger than you are. Yeah, it's a large creature.
Okay. In that case.
It'd be about this big.
Wait, so. Oh, well, yeah, so.
Okay, what you do see is its snout trying to push past and squeeze between that gap, but its tusks are too wide and they're stopping and they're clattering against the side. They're a scraping noise.
So is it just attacking the wall, dead on the center, trying to get through it?
It was trying to get through the gap at either side, but it's given up on that and is now probably just trying to bust the wall down,
Okay.
slamming it continuously.
So is a wall, you can't take the wall down by command, can you?
It doesn't. Just reading the staff
Okay.
description, it looks like no. It's an actual wall for realsies.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, right. Okay, I think I've got an idea. Okay, everybody step to the right, just out of the way, just in case it goes through. And then Grizz will approach the left side of the wall. Sort of peek over and start making try to communicate with this boar. A combination of grunts and squeals to sort of get its attention. And Grizz will take his great axe out and sort of tap at the sort of, I suppose, its right side of the wall, and then kind of make it seem like Grizz will sort of help him break down this part of the wall so he can get through. And then and then Grizz will step on to the other side of the wall and sort of start hacking away on the right side of the wall.
Yeah, sure. Give me an attack roll.
Dun, dun, dun.
The
Right.
whole usual package.
Okay, they both. That's a miss.
Shit.
But you slam as hard as you can into the wall, and although you leave a small chip, it hasn't like made a crack or a fissure. Not like the boar is. In fact, on its second charge up, doesn't it sees you tapping and just rams towards it, and you probably don't get a good enough swing because you have to maneuver your way out of the boar's path, because as it slams into the wall for a third time, you see it's on the other side where you were. It didn't look as bad. But on this side, it's crumbled and cracked everywhere. And with this last slam, you see it break up and completely crumble. Everyone else is startled to suddenly see the boar on the other side, triumphant, and charge through. Its tusks have not broken, but it has just broken down an entire stone wall. The strength of this creature is not to be underestimated, and it continues to charge forward.
Brett. Okay, that works too.
Eyes out of the way.
Okay, so
Oh, there's
one
something
thing I
else.
need to tell you guys, what I've noticed is that I don't think that creature was like I said, it wasn't after us or anything. I think it was running away from something. The problem is, you saw how big that thing was. Now imagine what it could be running away from. So maybe we press on forwards.
Okay, there's one thing you do notice though, Grizz, as you come around this side and you're right next to it, is as it charges its way and it's clambering and scraping itself over the mound of rubble, you notice there is actually a saddle on the creature.
Oh no way!
Yeah,
No.
there is, yeah. But it doesn't seem to be concerned with attacking you or anything, Grizz. It is still trying to clamber over the rubble, but it's about to charge towards your allies.
Time to
Alright,
take some points in Cavalier.
Can Gris try and mount it then?
All right,
Oh god.
Full on its
Here we
brain.
go.
all
I'm
right,
just
yeah.
gonna cast minor illusion and make a section of the rock wall sort of extrude and try to cover as much of the party as possible so that we're behind it.
To make it look like you're just rock.
Yeah, whatever the side of the wall currently looks
Okay,
like.
yeah.
But
If I have
You
a giant
could-
boar
5
coming
foot
at me, I'm throwing
area.
a firebolt at it at this point. Like, this thing is terrifying.
All right, so it gets to the top of the mound. You quickly see it's coming. Prepare a minor illusion to hide everyone. Meanwhile, Grizz suddenly jumps on the back of it, and I need you to roll me an animal handling check, Grizzle.
Come on.
get him, Grizz.
I believe.
Oh God, indeed.
Not the-
Oh, sorry, because it's panicked and frightened, it'll be a disadvantage.
Oh,
Nah.
boring.
Yeah. Okay, so
Oh man.
you see it as it scrambles up, it slips a bit. Use that moment, that opportunity to quickly grab a hold of its back, jump on it, and with your momentum, you also see it kind of like surge forward and leap as if it's trying to buck you off. And as it bucks, it
Okay,
leaps
Mr.
over the
Piggy.
top.
I'm not here to hurt you. And then Grizz is like pull on the reins and just sort of stroke like at the top of its head.
Sure.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just me.
You're stroking, but it's still charging. And I need Derek, roll that firebolt again.
Again?
Yeah. Just because the 12. Okay, 1 second. Oh, that's still just barely grazes him. Okay, so you see him like charging forward. You've got on top of him. You're trying to stroke him and calm him down. He gets over the top and he starts charging down the rubble. And as he's slipping and sliding, you see Ember's panicked and launched a firebolt towards it. You do your best to sort of veer the creature out of the way, probably grabbing its tusks and trying to help it avoid the blast. And it just scorches just down his side slightly. You can roll damage for the firebolt. Oof, 6. It just barely hits him. But you see that it can tell the Grizz you just tried to help it avoid a frontal blast. only just barely grazed him and seared the
What
side
are
of
you
it.
doing, Grizz?
Wait, Amber, no, don't shoot it.
It's an
I
electric
mean,
bullet!
it's
killing me again!
Whoa, wait. Amber, no. Don't shoot it, please.
Don't play with your food, Grizz!
I'll hold a firebolt and not fire it unless the thing continues to charge towards me.
No, don't shoot. I'm nearly there. Yeah. Just don't shoot it. It's gonna further agitate it.
Your table manners are exceptionally poor, Grizz.
It starts scraping its hoof across the floor.
Grizz?
Wait. Can Grizz jump down and step in front of it, and then sort of, I don't know, like stroke its snout, something, and just like go, whoa, like try and tell it, calm down.
It tries to like turn. It tries to like look past
Mr.
you. Like,
Piggy, it's okay. I mean you no harm. Like every time like Grizz is speaking, like it's okay, Mr. Piggy. Okay. We don't mean no harm.
it seems as though your body is big enough that it obscures its vision to where to where Ember is, and eventually its focus can't help but focus on you. And after a few more strokes and pats, it seems to raise up its head and present its like under neck. Well, just its neck. Yeah, it seems to present its neck, and you see a little tuft of fur there. Just a small little tuft of fur, like a little tiny beard. But he seems to wait for you.
Oh, yeah, he kind of scratches it, I guess.
There you go. As soon as you scratch it, he suddenly collapses to the ground and rolls over,
What the
presenting
heck
his belly.
I would not. I don't know what I was expecting.
is
It's
Grizz
so
a
cute.
boar? Man, what the heck? What is going on here?
Okay, well, I mean, I think it's fine now, as you can see. It's pretty big, isn't it? So I think.
Massive.
Grizz, I think I finally found out what you are.
Oh, what's that?
Man, bear, pig.
There's no such thing as man, bear, pig. I don't believe it.
Oh, man.
Grizz, ask it what it's scared of. What the? Do you know what it's scared of? I guess it doesn't really talk, does it?
I can, but I'm gonna need a little bit of time to like really think hard and focus before I can
mean-
speak to.
Perhaps we should just send it on its way and head back down where it came from. If
But
it's
I mean, I've already made friends with it. I can't possibly think that I should send it away.
Grizz, who's going to look after it?
Me,
You know, are you going to feed it, water it,
Yes,
change
can
its
do.
sty?
Feed it your
Well-
gold coin, Grizz. See what happens there.
That makes no sense.
Ah. Interesting.
Okay, so here's what I propose. We can, like, obviously we've got things to do. We can carry on. I'll think really hard while we're walking, and then eventually I should be able to speak to Mr. Piggy here.
While they're discussing this, Dia would like to go in the direction that the boar came from, with her staff kind of held out in a guard position, and is just waiting for something to come around the corner.
Yeah, I'll follow up behind you.
Okay.
Grizz will start ritual casting Speak with Animals.
Okay. In that case, you two ahead of the group can roll me. Well, are you going quietly, or you just trying to be careful?
Just carefully, I think, not being especially like. There's already
Sure.
enough noise behind me that I'm not too worried about stealth.
Yep.
Gonna
Okay,
say,
you
I look
can-
at Dyer, look at my armor, look back to Dyer.
You creep around the edge, and sure enough, you're seeing where this boar came from. Its tracks are pretty obvious. There's probably even a bit of poop occasionally. Not like it's taken. It's not like it's sat down and taken a big dump. They're more like skid marks from where it's probably like ran, slipped, and kept running. Yeah, we're talking. It literally shit itself. Whatever it was pretty scary. And as you're coming around the corner, you start to see more bones, but not the likes of which you saw earlier. These ones look more humanoid, and they're charred black.
Could I look over one of the remains? I'm sure in my line of work I've seen a fair amount of
Yeah.
skillybobs.
Yeah, you can roll me a medicine check.
Food! Thank you. Sorry.
Scary Bobs.
Thank you, dude. Sorry about that. I just got handed food.
That's all right.
Medicine.
You know, you're unsure. It's as though all the meat of this creature has been completely burnt off, and it's just the charred bones, like they've been in an incinerator. But you're unable to determine what, from the anatomy, from what creature it is, whether it be human, elf, dwarf, or anything like that. You're not sure. The bones are also too charred. They're probably like misshapen from where they've been charred so much as well.
Okay. So I'll just turn to. Oh,
yeah.
sorry, go on.
No, that's right. Come on.
Okay. So I'll just turn to Dyer and say, these bones are barely recognizable. But whatever they are, they're definitely humanoid.
Do you think they were charred before or after death?
It's very hard to tell.
That's good to know.
Hmm.
Shall we proceed or remain with our companions? I'm not sure I want to see what that thing was running from, but
Whatever we do, we need to remain vigilant. However, I think having a scout ahead might be best for the group, but perhaps we should send cahoots.
I don't wish to appear cowardly, but I do think that is a good idea. Prudence rather than fear, shall we say.
It's not cowardice. It's using your assets to your best ability.
Thank you.
I got you.
I'm quite fond of using my assets to my best abilities.
Okay. There's a trail of it that leads around the curvature of the tunnel, but yeah, you decide to head back and perhaps let a sneakier scout go ahead. Okay, as you come back, I'll say it's not too long before your ritual is completed. And the snorting and grunting translates suddenly to, "Oh yes, oh that's the spot. Oh that's good. Oh yeah, and down a bit.
Hello? Hello?
Hmm?
Oh, I can understand you now, Mr. Piggy. Hello? My name is Grizz. We are friends.
Hmm? Ah, I'm Grump.
Hello. So, okay, here's the thing. Obviously, it looked like you were running from something, and my friends were just a little bit I'm worried that you might hurt them, but I assured them that I know like your kind don't really like me.
Oh,
So
no.
what? So why? What was it that you were running from?
Oh,
Like a big
firstly,
beast like you? Like not to say like scared, but I mean surely it must have been pretty scary.
it was scary. No, tried to burn me.
Oh,
Mm,
was it like another boy like you? Was it like someone like me? Or was it
no,
someone like him? And it kind of points
like
at Ember.
like a walking torch.
Oh, okay. kind of looks warily sideways at Ember.
What is it, Chris?
Oh,
Keep looking at me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I was just reacting. I didn't mean to burn him.
No, sorry, no. I was just speaking to Mister. His name's Grump, by the way.
suddenly you turn
So he
around
was
to
just
Ember.
telling me.
It realizes Ember as well, and it starts to freak out.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. He's
Oh,
a friend.
there's
His
one
name
of
is
them.
Ember. No, he's not. Wait, wait. Does he? Wait, what? The thing that was chasing you, did it look like him?
Close enough. Stay back, Bernie man.
Okay, well, don't worry. Like I said, we're all friends here, and he
Never been
is.
friends with a bear before.
Yeah, well, always first time for everything.
Friendly bear.
I tell you what. If you want, I can sort of, like, you're pretty big and you probably don't need any looking after, but I would be more than happy to, like, lead you, like, look out for you. Because me and my friends here, we're heading up, like, up ahead, try and find some bad goblins that have been stealing from a friend of ours.
Goblin,
Yeah,
not bad. Goblin friends. First time for everything.
Oh
Yeah,
boy, here we
possibly.
go.
Oh no. Oh.
Well, I mean, I know there's some good goblins, but the goblins we're looking for, they're bad goblins, or at least, like goblins that bad goblins.
Goblin not bad. But goblin feed Grump.
All right, what did they feed Grump?
Slop. Favorite.
What? Sorry?
Favorite slop.
Okay. Well, we can find you some slops.
Cool.
Eventually, but yeah, we're looking. Yeah. Wait, so we know what the goblins look like, right? Or at least we have a description.
Yeah, you have maybe a brief description of them.
They're like dark brown with pockmarked or something like that.
Right. So, by the way, these goblins that are your friends, are they
Bogart.
like the what?
He calls them boggarts.
Oh, right. Okay. So they're not like was it like grayish skin?
No. Oh, more like red. Maybe a
Right.
bit gray. Grump, no. Grump is colorblind.
Okay. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like the goblins. Your friends don't sound like the goblins that we're after. So that's good. But yeah, we're heading up to try and find the cave that they may be hiding in, and you seem to be running away from something. So I mean, we're going the same direction. So, like I said, I'm happy to look out for you. Then you can come with us, me and my friends.
Grump wanted to be friends with Bear, but Grump no want to go back there. Don't want to get turned to bacon.
Oh, well, okay. I guess I can't really force you. Wait. So, okay. So I get it. So there's someone chasing you.
Scary.
I
Unless
think he was probably a goblin's mount with the saddle, right?
you look strong, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe you help. Maybe I can't go home.
I mean, yeah, I could. I've been more than happy to help, but we're kind of a bit busy. But like I said, if you want, you can maybe lead us up ahead, or at least the two of us can go, and then after we finish with this thing that we have to do, and maybe I can help you, find your way home.
Roll a persuasion check.
concentrating this entire time. The party can hear. It's just like
Yeah, just
snorting.
like snorting and grunting. Yeah.
Yeah, Ember's looking at Tanner and Dia and Tyro and just pure like, what the hell is going on?
Tanner just continues to shrug.
He says, "I'll show you where, but keep Fireman away from me, or else he gets gored."
Well, I'm sure there won't be any need for that. Like I said, my fiery friend here is Ember. His name's Ember, and he's really nice. He's very smart. He can be a little bit, like he can be a bit much sometimes, but luckily you can't really understand what he says, so it's okay. And then,
He go first. Don't want him behind me.
and then Grizz will turn to the party, and yeah, so explain all of that. So
I'm not
yeah,
going first. No way.
it's okay. We'll work it out. But yeah, apparently, there's someone up ahead that I think, as I described, maybe a walking torch. Could possibly be something like you, Ember.
Yeah, I was prepared for that. Well, not prepared, unprepared, if you will. That possibility is very concerning, as I will definitely not be able to assist you in very much should these walking torches be more or less cooperative than I am.
Or maybe you can make friends with them.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Perhaps. Or bargain with them in some manner. Yeah, perhaps.
Ember, do your people tend to come this far east?
As in, like, Ganassi, Fire, or the Genie-borns? Generally, no. We prefer the comforts of Gaidea, where I'm definitely. I don't think many of us really brave the sea. It's a pretty scary place, all that water. not, not desirable should you have your boat fail you. I made it here simply out of desire to see my goals accomplished. But no, it is not too common to see fire ganassi. At least ones of my city this far east. No.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. At least it's not going to be an unsuspected reunion or anything.
Well, with this place, who knows, Tanner? I don't know what to expect anymore. I'm still very confused and bewildered. I still feel like I just woke up, like from like a long nap, but I don't remember sleeping. It's too hard to know what's gonna happen, Tanner. It's really concerning.
I understand. We'll get your memories back as soon as.
Yeah, I don't mean to keep reiterating this. I don't know how to make sense of all this. Let's hopefully I'll be able to at least talk to them. Yes, let's see what that entails. Maybe I should go ahead if these things are described as torches. I enjoy the company of a friendly flame. Perhaps me going first would quell any heated situation, if you will.
Well, you will be going first, and he makes air quotes. First behind me, of course.
Yes. First. How clever do you think this boar is? Do you think it understands us?
Actually, Grizz is going to spend the rest of his spell to try and teach Gromp like basic commands in common, like run, sit,
Oh my god.
charge,
Right, sure.
etc. Like single word commands.
Yeah. So that you don't have to keep being in your
Yeah.
yeah. The other one. All right, sure. Okay. Um.
Like
know.
if there's any
Those
danger
sound,
that happens.
those sound similar to something else. They sound similar to what the goblins say.
Oh, out of curiosity, I couldn't help but say that you have got that nice looking saddle. I presume you are some sort of like steed.
Yeah,
Was it
no,
your friend? Was it
best.
your friends the goblin that that usually ride you?
He goes, yes, Grump, best ball.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, yeah, he seems like
But yeah, any danger, just stay close to me.
Okay, um, can I ask something?
Yeah.
Where did Bear learn to speak squealing?
Oh, well, I don't know actually.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I've always I mean, when I was little, when I would go about in the forest, and then I'd meet some animals, and then I don't know, somehow one of them days I just started thinking really hard, like, oh, I really wish I could speak to this animal, and then after a little while, I was like, oh, I could understand what they were saying.
Hmm.
That's pretty remarkable, Grizz. I've never heard of anyone who could sort of pick that up. I mean, I can do that for, just having grown up in a forest and knowing the difference between two kinds of birdsong, but I've never heard of someone who can pick it up just from a moment's study. Or you seem to be very remarkable in that regard.
Yeah, I don't know, it's pretty weird, but kind of grown up with it, and
Ah, Tyro's grunting now too. What's going on?
All right, the faithful steed does lead you in. Hmm. Well, he leads you around first of all, and you go past a number of different. What are they called? Totems, and they seem to be depicting some sort of, I guess, marker or warning sign, perhaps. They made out of crude stakes. There's bones hanging off of them from bits of string or maybe sinew. You're not sure, but the main component seems to be a rock, and on the rock is a painting of a red flame. And yeah, and the rock is also shaped in the shape of like a foot, but a very crude one.
The red, like the just like a red.
Yeah, it's a red foot with a flame painted on it, but
Like
made
a,
of stone.
sorry, is it like the size of a foot?
Yeah, it's about that. Yeah.
Try something. This is curious.
A little bit
Uh,
smaller, actually. About
I'll
your size,
produce just a
Tara.
little bit of flame just on my finger and kind of just touch the flame with my own fire on the rock. See if
It
it
heats up
works.
slightly. Yeah, it does heat up, but not as fast as what perhaps a normal rock would.
How big is it?
It's like a small rock, like a small stone-sized rock. Sorry, foot-sized rock. It'd be about the same size as Tyro's foot.
Big
But
as
they are,
doors.
yeah, that's kind of wrapped with string and rope across a stake that's like stuffed into the ground. And there's one or two of these, and you see they are right at the entrance of something, a cave, but it's not like it's not a ground level. It's one quite high up, about 20 foot up, and into the side. And Grump seems to keep pushing on.
Huh.
This could be our goblin cave, guys.
This could be indeed. But how are we going to get up there? My rope is... Wow, I've used my rope.
Uh,
You see,
Tara's
Grizz
gonna-
keeps on pushing on. And by pushing on, I mean he ignores that entrance up high and just keeps on going around the side.
Alright, guys, did you
Charles,
find
yeah.
something? Sorry.
Grizz, up there, Grizz, perhaps?
Okay, hang on a sec. Grom,
Mhm.
is that the way up to the cave of the goblins?
One way, yes. Not for Grump though. Grump go this way.
Oh, is it? Okay, is it a bad way?
Hmm. Well, yes. It's bad, as in that's where the bad things were.
Oh, right. Guys, Grump says that that's not a good... There's another way, apparently, but that way up is bad, and that's where the bad... I suppose a burning man
No,
thing came
other
from.
way. This way's bad. And he keeps on pushing forward, taking you apparently the bad way.
Wait, hang on. No, wait, stop for a second. My friend found a thing here.
It looks up. Grump no reach.
Yeah.
I could get us up there. Does the cave look big enough that if the boar were to climb up to it, they would be able
No.
to fit in? Okay, so
No,
it's like a 5x5.
In fact, even Grizz looks like he'd have a hard time fitting through there. And it's probably as
Small
well
little
as...
hole.
Yeah, it is a small... It's definitely made for small creatures. Tyro could probably fit through it.
These goblins were described as larger than normal goblins, right? If I do
I think-
recall.
Don't think they were.
Okay, my bad.
What were they called again? Because I'm thinking they could be the goblins that
Lava
that
step.
that worship the volcano or something.
That might... Well, that's probably the things that are up ahead that scared
Wait,
up
hang on a
Grump there.
second. Hey Grum,
Well,
have you heard of a thing called cinders?
Cinders
Yeah.
sound like they'd be torchmen. Ones who
Okay.
attacked my friend.
Okay, so the actual walking, like the torch people, not like they're not like goblins or anything, are they?
No, look like that. Look like him. And he kind of gestures with his tusks to point towards Ember.
Okay. Okay, guys. So, yeah, I don't think that's a very tiny entrance.
I was gonna say, well, if
Grump nowhere.
there's a way to get me up there, I could poke around a little bit and see if it's worth going that way.
I think it would be once again worthwhile using cahoots because the last thing we
yes,
want is
true.
for you to get stuck in a place where we can't retrieve you.
That is true. Sure. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are we all okay with that?
That sounds
would
like
be,
the best way to find out. Yeah.
Be a good idea, I think. Yeah.
All right. Tara will sort of gesture to the hole up the side of the
Okay.
cliff face and ask Cahoots to fly in.
Okay. He does fly out. And
He's going
as
to
soon
ask
as
him
he-
to be sort of especially mindful of like rising temperatures or like sounds of movement, that sort of thing.
Okay. As soon as Cahoots gets up here, he notices a number of loose rocks kind of piled. And they look big enough to hurt, like if someone was to drop him from this height. There's quite a big pile of those. And there is also a number of very crude looking spears. About two of them up here. They look like throwing spears. And on the end is a very sharpened, angular looking rock for the stone, for like the spear's tip. Kind of looks like a volcanic rock.
Um, how heavy are the spears or spears rather?
Um, they're probably going to be a bit too heavy for an owl to like fly with, but not not heavy enough that they couldn't be dragged.
Okay. Can Coots just drag them off the side and over
Yeah.
the? Yeah, Taro will kind of be like, "All right, watch out! I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna have Coots disarm what seems to be a trap up here.
Hmm,
Just
okay.
have them
Sure.
chuck the spears over the side."
Yep. You drag them to the edge and kicked off. You see a spear come tumbling down. Everyone quickly
Ah,
ducks out of the way. Lands into the ground.
there you go, Tanner. Throwing spear for you.
Oh, perfect. Yoink.
Yeah, you see the strange tip towards the spear. It looks like a sharpened volcanic rock, very angular,
Ooh.
not like not smooth, but more like a diamond, right at the end,
Yeah.
elongated diamond.
Intriguing.
Looks to be a very effective spear tip there. Look how sharp that rock looks. Dark. It almost looks like obsidian.
Do I recognize what the rock is?
That is, hmm. Yeah, give me a geology check.
Geology check.
It's gonna be just intelligence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
just
figured.
intelligence.
Sure.
I guess it'd be nature. That's probably what it would be. But still, that's probably the
Uh,
same thing, isn't it?
It would be the exact same roll.
Yeah,
Then.
that's what I thought.
I'm
Okay.
not proficient. Sure.
Yeah, it is definitely a volcanic-looking rock. However, there is something more remarkable about it than that. Um, it seems as though this has like a vein of something inside of it. You think it might be obsidian. It could be that, but it seems like it's. I don't know. It seems more rough than that. It doesn't look like shiny obsidian is like a. It's like almost gem-like. This seems to be more rough and matte textured.
Ember will
Almost
once
powdery.
again with the
Yeah.
burning finger just kind of rub on its edge and have the fire kind of show that texture and it curiously remarked to Tanner that it looks somewhat obsidian like, but this is not normal for obsidian. This is something very new, and this rock looks.
I'll say though, as you're doing this with your finger and pointing out there's something different, you notice an even bigger difference. This rock is incredibly resistant to your heat. The fire is normally simply just washing over it. Like it doesn't heat up. You feel the stone afterwards as well. There's no temperature to it whatsoever.
And it feels as though this rock absorbs fire. If we were to obtain a large amount of it and put it around your arm or something, Tanner, maybe it'd keep you cold in this under this volcano. But that's just me thinking out loud.
Well,
you made me a poncho, but this is definitely very fire resistant or rock that would be able to withstand extreme heats, I think.
You said you met an armorer, didn't you? A blacksmith?
I met an armorer? What? When?
Yeah, Vaughn.
The big fire beastie boy?
Oh, well, yeah, that, oh, perhaps it's,
Click.
do you think this would be his handiwork, perhaps? Or,
Well, I was
Well, we
thinking perhaps he could fashion me something.
I could probably ask, yeah, he seems like a kindred spirit, another flame kin of sort.
You want him to fashion armor out of a single spear tip?
Oh, no.
I mean,
If we
if we
find
were to
more.
acquire more of
Alright,
this, we could maybe make armor that would allow
Yeah.
you to withstand the heat like I do.
In the meantime, though, I will take it
Yeah,
because
just thinking ahead, my bad.
if it proves useful against whatever creatures we were coming up against, Might be an idea.
Oh, that's probably much more in line of what the magical voices in my head were probably trying to suggest to me.
uh, so yeah, I'll just add that on obsidian spear. Yeah.
Yeah, something
Right.
like that. Let's call it lava step spear.
Lava step spear.
Yeah. Okay. And as Cahoots is looking around, this hole is very, very narrow. The opening is fairly big enough that perhaps a medium creature could perch on the edge. But you see that the tunnel that leads inside is small, a cramped space, and it descends deep into the rock. You could go down it if you want.
I mean, Tyro loses vision after
100 foot.
80 feet or so. Yeah, or
Okay.
yeah,
In that
20
case,
feet up, and yeah. So
then
he'll go as far as we can, and then see what he sees at the range of that vision.
the tunnel goes down at least 50 foot, and then you see it split, and there's two more passageways, and that passageway is at least the 100-foot mark.
What is Cahoots here if he listens for a moment at the intersection?
What does he notice?
What does he see here? Is there like activity in one direction or the
Um,
other? That sort of
It
thing.
looks okay. Give me a perception check, and I'm also going to say it'll be straight because your dark vision gives you at least dim light, and somewhat, but it's very dark down here.
Does he get advantage because of
Keen sight.
keen hearing? Yeah.
Yeah, which makes it a flat roll. Okay. Both the tunnels look the same. There's nothing here at the intersection that would indicate anything of importance. You can just see the tracks of many goblins having probably gone through here. Although it's not like tracks on the ground, it's tracks across the walls, the ceiling. But he doesn't find anything noticeably different about either tunnel.
There are goblin tracks on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
Claw marks and such.
Well, like feet marks or like
Yep.
their.
Yep, feet and
Oh,
hands
okay.
and
Okay. Yeah, Cahoots will fly back, and Tyro will say, "This tunnel continues for some ways to an intersection deeper in the earth. That's as far as I could get with Cahoots, but I think that seems to be a place of some activity for the goblins. There's very unusual markings on the walls and ceilings where they seem to have been using them as like hand and footholds. I've never heard of goblins that can walk on the ceiling. I'm curious to understand how that could be.
Yeah,
Do I have
that
any?
sounds disconcerting.
Yeah, I wonder if I wonder if sort of this pile of rocks and these spears were placed here as a defense because things come from the other direction that need to be disposed of, perhaps.
Why would they just leave them here, though?
Well, as a sort of choke point, like ambush site.
But they left their weapons unattended? Do you think
Perhaps
that
they
meant
were pushed away by the cinders.
perhaps they were unexpectedly, forced away without warning? It's the only reason I would leave a weapon around.
You are more careful than most, Aya, of course.
Well, it's true. I don't know how careful goblins are about their cleanup.
Not very.
but- Surely, even it doesn't take a master organizer to know that leaving your weapons around tends to get them lost or stolen, or taken by the enemy, as we've just seen here. And I gesture to Tanner, who's got a weapon in his hands.
Tanner, you are the enemy.
Well, the invading forces, for all they know. I just
I
there's something
understand you.
here other than the resident goblins. I don't know.
But definitely, this beast here, filthy beast, seems to be a mount of a goblin. Perhaps even he's quite large and impressive. Perhaps even a king of sorts or something. I imagine that.
Oh, he
we
said
were-
he's like the best. He's like the best piggy.
Yeah, he could be the mount of a goblin king or something. One of the lava step goblin kings. If we return him, it may curry some favor. Not that I really would ever want to curry favor with goblins, filthy, disgusting, terrible creatures. But I mean, this thing's kind of nasty looking too. So everything kind of makes sense.
He's not so bad. He's actually quite nice.
You
I
think
wouldn't,
the
I wouldn't
pig?
be so trusting of that. I would prefer him in bacon form, to be perfectly honest. But
I'll have some
I'll
bacon
tolerate
if you
him
want
now.
some bacon, but
Yes, Chris, I would love to see that. Actually, why don't you break out your bacon right now and
maybe not right now, Ember.
it's
It
lizard
might
bacon
upset
anyway.
Grub.
It's
We've
lizard.
just had breakfast.
Yes, of course.
What about second breakfast? Seconds.
It's lizard bacon anyways, Grizz. It's not
Eleven.
Oh,
Bacon.
that is true. Yeah. Oh, so do you want some lizard bacon then? Oh, were you just hoping there was pork bacon?
As you're
You
having
don't
this conversation, you hear Grizz's voice get further and further away as Gromp just continues to trot down the crevasse in the canyon.
Wait, I go a second, guys. Wait, Grum. Wait a second. Wait.
Work.
My friends found something over there. I think they're just checking it out. Are you guys nearly done?
I don't think we're going down the pathway of the cave, are we, guys? I think we
Yeah.
intend to go forward along the main path here.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Tara
reckon only
nods.
Taro could squeeze through that?
yeah, Tara nods. I don't plan to ask the rest of you to crouch over for as long as it takes to get through those tunnels. And in any case, I certainly won't be climbing up anything that's 20 feet up.
Well, I could
It'll
certainly
look
get you up there without much issue,
distinct. Oh, I appreciate that, but
but I also don't want to go up there.
nevertheless, onwards then.
All right.
Follow the ugly boar.
Onwards and not upwards.
I thought he said he wanted me to go first. Now he's going first. I much prefer this arrangement. Let him keep going first, Grizz.
Yeah, I'm with him.
All
We'll
right.
follow behind the boar, since the boar seems not to seems to have forgotten its own.
Yep. Not the smartest. Nonetheless, it finally comes towards an entrance way that looks to be into the side of the canyon, and it was quite well hidden. In fact, you could actually walk past it and not even notice it. But Grump suddenly turns around, scrapes his foot, looks like he's about to charge into the group, and then he actually charges off to the side and literally into the wall, and he disappears. But instead of hearing a thud, he's actually just gone down a secret tunnel. Now, as for you, Grizz, the tunnel mouth is quite wide open. There are more of those totems that's sticking out of the ground that seem to signify the Goblin clan. However, there are more charred bones littered everywhere. And actually, Grump seems to get closer towards them and suddenly squeals and panics and rushes back out, and everyone sees Grump like running and bucking and nearly
What now?
rocking Grizz off the top.
Whoa, hey, wait. Are you okay? What happened?
He says, "Smells like burning. Smells like burnt friends."
Oh, I know what happened now. Oh no.
Oh, right,
Oh, no.
okay.
Burn. Tender bacon.
I was going to say, it does smell like bacon.
Yes. Goblin bacon.
But yeah,
Wait,
there's like, was it like fresh? Like, can you smell it from here? Like, it's
Yes, you smell this.
recent.
It's burning flesh. Yes, 100%.
Tyro,
Some of the bones are
recoils.
still
Does it
smoldering.
smell Does it smell recent? Like it's still just charred?
Yeah,
Or
one or two
like
of them
this?
definitely.
Like
Not
this
all
is
of them.
happening right now.
Well,
Like
not
they're.
all of them, but one or two are still a bit steamy. Yes.
Mm,
Oh dear.
Ember just looks a bit satisfied that a job that he thought he'd have to do was just done by somebody else.
I like it when a problem takes care of itself. This is one less enemy for all of us to have to worry about.
You see scorch marks up against the walls as well.
I was gonna use Mage Hand to just start brushing the bones, like, and the charred meat hunks or whatever to each side of the cavern, or passageway rather.
Okay. Grom doesn't realize you're doing a spell and gets even more freaked out.
Okay, Grab, it's okay. I tell you what, we're gonna go on ahead. If you're too scared to go in,
Yes.
you can just stay out here and wait for it to come back.
Okay.
I'll pick up one of the one of the remains that's still burning or charring. Like is it
Yeah.
still smoking, or is it?
One of them is, yeah, and you with your.
How
See,
hot does it feel?
it is cooled, but there was a heat to it, an intense heat, strong enough that it burnt the flesh off the bone.
Do things look like as I'm looking around with my peculiar dark vision as a fire ganassi? Do things look a little heated in
Yeah.
here?
Yes, you
Okay.
can roll me an investigation check.
Sure. 7.
With that, I will say that there are a number of different elongated scorch marks, which show the signs of perhaps like a firebolt has probably skirted up across the sides. There are also marks of weapons, like tools, like maybe a hot poker has scraped along one side of the wall.
Does
You
it
can also see the same marks across the floor as well. And then there's
Okay.
one last thing that seems to be probably the biggest heat signature left is a large blast zone. You see bits of bone shards scattered in every direction.
Ooh,
And it looks
fireballs.
like, yeah, like
Okay.
almost like a crater, and it's scorch marks from in a radius.
I will explain this to my friends here and suggest that we don't stand close together as we move forward.
Okay.
Uh, eh, is there any like signs of claws, like natural weapons, or does this look like an organized attackers? Like it's all just
Yeah.
weapons. Like so, like, they obviously use like burning weapons, and but they don't seem to have like burning claws or anything like that.
There are claw marks actually. Yes.
There are, okay, all right. I
Yeah,
will
there are,
say
but
that
that's
as
you're
well.
not sure whether they're goblin or whether they are the creatures.
Okay, all right.
I,
Interesting.
So
Okay.
is Ember describing that there's like he thinks there's someone casting firebolt, that sort of thing?
I don't know if Ember would know what fireball is, but he would
Oh, I'm sorry.
describe
Did you
it.
say firebolt or fireball?
I said firebolt was the elongated scorch marks, like a skid across, as if a fireball has just missed.
Oh, okay, my bad. All right.
As
Yeah,
for
I
the
would
blast
describe that.
radius, with a 17, I will say that it's hard to tell. The blast radius is somewhere between 10, 20 foot. You're not sure though. In some areas it seems longer. In some it's not. But either way,
So
some blast zones are like 10 foot. Some are 20 foot radiuses.
I would mention that. Tyro, I would think I would have heard of spells of that nature.
Once you mention
Yeah.
that there's like magic involved, Tyro's like opening up his notebook and like going right up to the marks to like start examining them and
Mhm.
investigate them.
Okay. So Ember points out some of them, which especially the hottest ones, and you can even still feel a slight heat coming from them, are the ones which are 10 foot radius. The ones which are cooler, not so hot, are the 20 foot radius ones.
Intriguing. I'm taking copious notes
Okay.
in my book.
I'll just help him with whatever he needs for that.
Okay. So Gromp gets down real low to the ground, Got anything to calm the nerves?
Give him a berry, Grizz.
Oh no!
It's finished. You finished the last of it.
Oh no, did we? Damn.
We could give him a potion of glee.
Oh, that's
Maybe a
good.
drink or something?
Uh,
No, we probably shouldn't do that.
Any
yeah.
booze?
I've been keeping my water for myself, actually.
Did we
I
actually
can't
take
hear
some of
what
the
he's
wine?
saying. I can't understand.
Let's see what I've got.
In fact, why
Any
am I
booze?
encouraging this? No, no.
Oh wait, I still have one berry.
Yes, do it. Please do this.
Rob likes the strong stuff.
Oh yeah, we
Um,
don't know what
I'm
he's
so
saying.
scared of what's gonna happen, but I really
Please
want to
do
know.
this.
Grizz,
Please
why
don't
you-
have any booze. I mean, he said he wants something to drink.
They are very refreshing.
Could put a berry in a drink, I don't know. That worked last time, I guess.
I think I have
mean-
some of my ward skin left.
Well,
need
I mean,
that.
I've got some. I know you don't. I know you like. You don't usually eat meat, but I've got here some. What you might call it, lizard strips.
Okay.
It's quite nice. It tastes just like. Oh wait, no. It tastes like lizard strips.
Lizard.
It's a bit chewy. It's
Oh,
quite nice.
oh, chewy. I like chewy.
Yeah, it's a, and
I'll
then
have a rip.
give them a handful of maybe like the streak here.
Yeah, all right. You give him some lizard jerky, and he starts chewing on it, and he's munching on that quite happily. Oh, this will keep me distracted.
Okay, that's good. Just try to keep your mind off of like all like fire and stuff.
Okay. Oh,
Alright.
wait for you to come back. You go inside.
So are we already like inside, or is it sort of like
Yeah, you're at the entrance of the mouth entrance.
okay?
How far down can we?
Hello, anybody home?
Grizz, stop!
Your voice echoes deep inside, and then you hear a reply. Hello. Hello.
Well, guys,
Hello.
I think there's someone home. I think there's a few people home, but it's weird.
I-
They sound a little bit like me.
There's a lot more
Can I,
people home here than in brains home in your head. Come on, Grizz, what are you doing?
Can I put
Checking.
one hand on the wall and one hand on the ground and see if I can feel any vibrations?
Yes, actually, you can. Just barely. It's a small vibration, but it is there.
And can I tell where it's coming from, or where it's stronger, or just that there's something in the rock?
Yeah, it's probably definitely closer on the ground. So it's deep. It must be very far under.
And is it a regular rhythm, or is it a steady,
Irregular.
irregular? Okay, so I'll point it out to the others and say, I don't know if this is an underground volcano or people walking or mining, but there is movement here deep underneath us.
I might suggest that in our future investigations, we'd be a bit more circumspect with our introduction, shall we say? So look pointedly at Grizz.
Okay. Hey, Tanner.
Yes.
That's a new word for you, Grizz.
What's
Circumspect.
yeah, what is circumspect?
Circumstance.
It just means be careful of who
circumspect.
you invite to your circle. And just in case they're not as nice as they seem to be.
Okay.
But-
I'm talking about Mr. Grum.
At this point,
Or I mean, I will say that any creature that lets its belly be rubbed by a stranger is probably at heart not a bad person, but not everybody may be as kind as Grump is.
Okay.
Who
If you
smells
see what I
worse, Grizz or the boar?
Definitely the boar.
Okay.
Yeah. But it does seem, even though it stinks, it definitely seems like tamed. It definitely understood simple commands that Grizz was giving it almost instantaneously. And yeah, it's got a saddle. Obviously, it must have been rode by one of these goblins.
Grizz, I think it sees a kindred soul in you. I think it sees a bit of you and it, or it and you, or however that works.
At this point, your spell wears off, Grizz, and the translation goes back to like. But he's also just chewing on the jerky, so he's not really saying much anyway.
Well, let's
Okay,
press
Grizz
on.
will just like say like yeah, like turn to it one last time and say in common, like points to himself. You, I mean points at it first, like you stay, I go.
Doesn't nod or shake its head; it just continues to chew on the jerky.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Tyro, could you have Cahoots maybe have a look and see?
Sure. I will say an owl flying this deep in underground is probably going to be a bit unusual. But
Hmm.
Yes,
But yeah,
apologize profusely to Cahoots for us. We've been throwing him about the place a bit.
well, Goose will be very happy to be our eyes and ears, as it were. But if we were outside in a forest, I think it wouldn't be unusual to see an owl there. But this
I see
far
what you mean.
underground, I think it might be
You don't
taken
want
as
him
evidence.
catching a bolt of fire. That's a.
Less worried about that and more about him giving away that something is coming, as it were.
Maybe he could like fly upside down and pretend to be a bat.
Sure.
Pretty sure
Yeah,
Grizz
I'll-
just took care of that problem for us.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah,
Well-
Tyra will have Kahoot sort of generally try to be a number of paces ahead of the party and
Okay.
peeking around corners, that sort of thing.
So, Cahoots does fly into the open cave, and it does get deeper and deeper in. Eventually, about some 100 foot in, it starts to descend quite steeply, and then that descent also turns around on itself and seems to spiral 180 till perhaps you're in another lower level, perhaps the underground. And that explains why you're feeling the tremors, because they're probably passing through like different chambers, bouncing all the way. However, you have lost all sunlight at this point, and unless you're just relying on embers lighting, it's very dark. Do you actually shed light as a Ganassi?
I don't think so. I mean, I can simply by lighting my hands on fire.
Oh,
produce
that
some
was
flame.
then.
Is
Yeah.
your head on fire?
I would
you pres-
imagine that my head would shed some dim light, maybe 5 or
Yeah.
10 feet. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
It's really dark in here, guys. Could we have some light, maybe?
Yeah, I'll keep
It's like a
the
candelabra.
flames up. I don't think the flames will really give concern to things known as cinders. They'd probably be actually kind of happy to see fire. So, or maybe they'll mistake us as one of their own and not ambush us. I will do that. I will keep my hands. I'll keep my hands on fire, I guess, as we just kind of use it to create some light as for my human friends that can't see in these.
okay.
And I would like to keep a hand on the walls as we're going in. And I'm specifically looking for any irregularities in the pattern, or anything that would mimic the pattern of footsteps, or like regular thuds against a wall, like mining, or
Okay.
any change in the sort of steady rumbling.
Gotcha.
Anything that seems regular. Yeah.
Okay. So you're keeping an eye on that, and
Yeah.
as you're descending deeper and deeper in, at this point, it's been about, yeah, I'm gonna say about a good 40 minutes. You've been traversing this singular tunnel, and eventually, it splits and the tunnel goes left and right.
So, so all this time we've just been descending in sort of
Descending, yeah.
spirals, or like just going zigzag. Like, what's the?
Yeah, a zigzaggy downward pattern definitely
Okay.
is the kind of gist I'm getting. Yeah.
Does this look natural? Like, has this been?
That is a very apt question to ask at the split of tunnels, because you can roll me a investigation check, or a survival check, or a nature check. I mean, there's a lot of different things. But if you're trying to make it, see if it's natural or not, I guess we'll do an investigation check first. Okay, wow, that's incredible. Okay, literally as you're
Wow,
asking,
that's what
this
the.
that's insane. What the heck? Plus
Yeah,
12.
nothing gets by you, Tyro.
You're level 4,
Observant,
right?
observant plus
Oh, it's
7.
observant. Oh my god, that's
Wow.
That is-
That's an amazing
that's
feat.
a
I
feat
want
right
it.
there.
He
We want
has
it, precious.
ascended.
my God.
Damn. Okay. As that thought passes your mind, Taro, you look over the cave walls, and one is most definitely natural. The other seems to be dug away, like by claws, by maybe tools as well. You can definitely make out there's a smoother sort of texture to one. The other one looks rough. There's rubble all across the floor, and peering into it, you can see that it goes into a chamber with large stalactites hanging from the ceiling. And there is also just barely, perhaps a small semblance of light coming from it at the very far end of the chamber. And the other passageway is the less natural one, the one that looks completely dug out, but it's way more cramped. Yeah, it looks like the same kind of goblin tunnels that you saw before. So I'm going to just
So,
drag you onto the map, I guess.
yeah, Tara's gonna point that out and say, if I had to surmise what happened, I wonder if the original goblins who inhabited here were uh, perhaps overpowered or subdued in some way, and his new tunnels seem to have been made subsequent to that.
Oh, here we go.
I'm gonna think that these goblins may not even really, at least in this area, exist anymore. And perhaps the cinders have wiped them out.
It might be. Can I have Cahoots fly down the sort of OG goblin tunnel, not the sketchy lit one, and just see if he hears anything down that way?
Yes. You can roll me a perception check. This is going to be based on hearing, so you would have advantage, right? Is it sight or hearing? It's advantage on. Does it have advantage on hearing? Sorry.
If this I don't know. I guess you'll
Yeah,
tell me
will
if it
do,
does,
yeah.
but yeah.
Just yeah. So I'll just check. Keen senses, keen hearing, and sight. Yes, so it is hearing. Good. Okay, so it's a 10. Unfortunately, although it's got very good hearing, it's likely that any sounds being made here are muffled. But there is a shaking, like a slight tremor, but that seems to be more and more apparent to everyone. Uh, so Dyer, you were like paying attention to it, and at this point, you can all just feel the tremor, even without carefully going along with your hand. You've gone deep enough now that everyone is definitely feeling that, and it's still kind of intermittent, sporadic nature. Doesn't seem to be rhythmic, not like a mining.
I'm beginning to suspect that Baba Yaga was maybe had somewhat outdated information. It seems like if there is a ritual proceeding, it's certainly had secondary effects already.
Hmm.
Or
Also,
possibly
lastly,
even completed.
oh, I was going to say Cahoots can't really fly very well in these cramped tunnels as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having him come back and rejoin the party.
That's okay. All right.
Mm,
But yes, a fork in the road.
The, well, one would lead to what would be the Stone Song Goblins, I'd imagine, and the other fork would lead to our fire brethren friends. I much would prefer to deal with fire folk than goblins, but that's more of a personal preference.
Shall we go that way then?
Yes,
Is-
agreed.
Is either of the tunnels warmer than the other? Like, is there warm air coming out that we can feel?
Not from
Not that I
here,
can see.
no.
No, it was a. Okay.
What color is the light that's emanating from the far end of the tunnel?
Uh, it is just light. It's hard to tell really when it's pitch black. The only light it's coming from is ember. So I guess it's just a light source. You'd have to get closer. It's the
Okay.
only thing I have to say. It's
I
likely
just
you
what I mean.
could eventually.
Is it like flickering? Is it changing in intensity? Is it steady?
It's steady.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tyra's gonna say, I'm guessing we're perhaps getting deep enough into the earth that we may be coming across lava or something like that. And given that we're nearing an underground volcano or something to that effect, I would be concerned about getting toasted alive, but maybe that's something we can be on the lookout for.
yes, if you see any fissures in the wall or cracks or anything, just stay away from them. Last thing we want is a wall to blow out from the side of us.
Yeah. Disconcerting, Tanner.
Well, we're in an unknown territory here, so we've got to be on the lookout for everything. That's
Nice
probably
field,
one of the least of our dangers as well.
I'll continue to light the way, then. I think, I don't know, I don't often go first, but maybe if...
I
in
can
this
come with you.
case-
I was going to say, I'll stand side by side with you.
Yeah, okay. That would be appreciated, but okay, sure. Onwards. Heroes, we march on!
It's reassuring.
Okay. As you get further into this, you see that there is somewhat of a path, although it doesn't look like it's well traveled. It's only because it's of a natural path where rubble is kind of piled up on the sides of the cavern, and you're kind of going along inside the middle, and it winds through here. And you're starting to see other light sources, very dim little dots everywhere, just in the sides of the tunnel, quite high up, about 10 foot up from you in the walls. But they're so far hidden, they're like surrounded by like a cage of stalactites.
Intriguing.
Okay. Sorry,
What is it?
you wanna just position this as a marching order, just so I can see. It's a Tanner up front.
What? Sorry, is the left like first
So-
or?
The top is first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Tyra is definitely like second rank at least.
Oh, second.
I would be in the middle between Tanner and Grizz, but maybe like just like a half a foot ahead of the littlest, just so Ember could think that he's in the lead, but really in a momentary position.
I mean,
Okay, who's at
Chris,
the back?
would you like to take the front or the rear? I don't mind either.
I don't mind either.
I'd like to go just behind Ember.
Okay.
Good.
Okay,
Right. You can position yourselves there. Someone's got to be at the back there. I don't know who that's going to be, but so Tanner's
All
at
right,
the front.
I'll take the back. I'll take the back then.
Okay, all right. So
mind.
that means Ember, you want to be
Tyra
second.
can be in the back, if you want to.
No,
Sure,
I was
Oh
trying
my
to
God.
keep vigilant. I can keep vigilance just as well at the front as at the back. So.
All right. So this is everyone happy
There we
with
go.
Sure.
Sure.
This would be on Tyra's shoulder.
Hold on, I want to be flying around the group and Cahoots can go in the front.
I cast spider
Oh,
climb, and I ride on Grizz's shoulder.
Just make a totem pole, guys. Jeez.
Cool, there we go.
Alright.
I think that's
Okay.
good.
Does
That's
anyone
good.
have light?
So we're all standing next to each other to get fireballed. This is
I have
essentially-
I have a lantern. I'll light a lantern.
There we go.
I,
All right.
I
cool.
still have
Yeah,
flames in my hand that produce 20 feet of light. So. Hopefully.
And I have dark vision.
Not
Right.
Tara has dark vision too.
Cool. We got there in the end.
Walking ahead, flames on fire, hands on fire.
Okay. So. Dum dum dum. Dee, dee, dee. You're descending further into this tunnel, and you're realizing this light source, the color of which, Tyro, you've been trying to determine all this time, and it does get lighter and whiter the closer you get to it, like a pale light, not like a fiery light. You don't sense any heat coming from it either, but nonetheless, it's about halfway through this chamber when you suddenly hear a crack. It's just after a tremor perhaps happened, like a low rumble, and you hear a crack within the stone.
I'll raise my shield above my head.
Okay.
I'll look around to see if I see where it's coming from and be ready to cast an appropriate spell.
I duck.
Okay. Well, as you look around, you see something flying straight towards you. It seems as though it didn't make it made a sound when it was dislodged, but it makes no sound whilst it's in the air. And a moment later, you hear something impact on the group.
Flame
In
missile.
fact, several of the group. And I'm going to consider this a surprise attack because it was completely
Oh, no.
indistinguishable from a normal stalactite. So we'll go with. Well, let's do this fairly. We'll roll some d5s. There's 5 of you. Yeah. All right. So one's going on Ember, and another one, and the one's going to Dire on the very back. Okay. Makes
I did
sense.
duck. I don't know if that helps me at all.
You're what now?
I said I was ducking. I don't know if that.
Ducking. It's not coming
I heard
from in front of you, but it is coming down on top of you. So ducking's just going to make it hit you on the
Perfect.
Could I,
back instead of the head.
could I go?
All right. So
Oh,
these two are for Ember.
Listen to sound cue.
1,
Grizz somehow
12.
try and
12.
push Ember out of the way.
We can when as soon as we roll initiative, but I'm afraid
Oh.
this was a surprise attack effectively, and the last one goes on Dire with advantage. 17.
Ooh, that does not hit. I'm
Oh, it
good.
doesn't.
No,
Oh yeah, you've got the AC bump from.
I have an Ioun stone and something else. Yeah, I've got a
Amazing.
19.
Okay, fantastic. In that case, then, the Ioun stone orbiting your head suddenly pushes the. Oh, does it? I wonder if it pushes the thing out of the way. It probably pushes your own head out of the way. It doesn't want to get impacted. So you just feel it pressing against the side of your head, and you're like, ah! And as you get pushed away, you suddenly see the impact of a large stone-like, stalactite lands right next to you. However, as it falls on the floor, seemingly missing its target, it then starts to squirm like a maggot and starts to push itself into the ground, like bury itself beneath rubble. I need everyone to roll initiative. And Ember, you're surrounded by 2 of them. And also, you take.
Yeah, I got hit. Yeah, that 22 is good.
Oh my god, that's like the first good initiative that I've had in a long time.
You took 6 points of piercing from. Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, an extra d6 per foot of falling, right? And I think I set these up to be 10, 20 foot. Yeah, no, that's correct.
Six points?
It's 6 points of piercing, and then the other one hit. Did it hit you for a 12?
12 would not hit me because of mage armor.
Oh, when did you?
I'm at 14 with mage armor.
Okay, yeah. Did you cast that? on someone else as well?
I did. I twin spelled it and used a sorcery point to give it to Tyrell.
Tyra, I'm just gonna put a little marker on you.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I had it on the other one. I don't know why it's not.
Yeah,
That's
it
cool.
seems to come and go. I have to reapplying it.
It's probably because I dragged someone else. Dragged you onto the map again. All right.
Claim roll 20.
Oh okay, got it.
Okay, so the other one, the first one hits you incredibly hard, and you stagger around. The second one seems to just,
Off me!
the second one just barely grazes past you. It just sort of rebounds off the mage armor. Now, is everyone on the turn order?
Sorry, I don't think I was selected when I rolled initiative.
Okay. It is Tanner's go. You're up first.
Wait, what? I'm first? Come on,
Yeah.
guys, you're slacking.
Go get it, Tanner.
So, bonus action, I'm going to raise my shield up and slam it down in front, and Gold Aura surrounds Ember, and I use Shield of Faith. So you gain an extra 2 AC.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
So that's one. And second, I'm going to move around and just go, oh, sorry, Grits, sorry, excuse me. Oh, hello. Jesus, there we go. And I'll swing for this one here.
Okay, go for it.
And yeah. Where? Oh yeah, I use flail, there we go. 22.
Oh, that's a hit for
Splat.
sure.
9 points of thunking damage.
Bunking. All right. You bludgeon him with your halberd. I mean, flail.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, that's 9 points. However, you slam into it. It's got like a rocky texture, but as it's rolling around trying to get away, you see a soft underbelly, and you stab for it, or you swing your flail onto it and thuds. But yeah,
Cool.
it's got this eye that suddenly opens up on it and then blinks around, looking at you, and you see two sets of little mandibles trying to scrape away at the dirt.
Okay.
And you see a mouth open up, and it looks very much like this. And the eye sort of blinks.
Ugh.
If you turn your head to the left, he's got a smiley face.
Yeah. Okay. End your go. As for you, Dia, this one that's landed, that's barely missed. It's going to turn and try to bite into you instead. Jeez.
Ooh, yep, that hits.
Okay. Alright, it's really pathetic. It's like peanuts damage. 5 points of damage. Actually, it was pretty good. Okay, so he just bites into you with these really sharp mandibles at the end.
Ouch.
Okay, I'm just gonna take that.
Yeah, that's it. Dia, your turn.
All right, the one that's attacking me, I'm gonna. Where is it? Where is it biting me? Like on my legs? On my
On the
feet?
yeah, basically on your leg, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna use my quarterstaff to kind of, holding it in both hands. I'm gonna push, like, strike down, like it's a shovel, like just ramming into it.
Okay. Roll to hit.
And let's see.
Oh, that's a hit.
Yep, 18
Nice.
bludgeoning, or
11
11,
points.
11 bludgeoning.
Oh, yeah, so you bring down the staff and you wedge it in between your leg and this thing, trying to heave it away. And you're also just crunching part of the jaw it's biting down with. It looks really badly wounded from that. In fact, you've probably broken its mouth, like its top half of its mouth. Probably snapped
Okay.
its jaw.
It's still alive though?
It is still alive, yes.
Okay. Let's see. What do I want to do? No, I'm gonna stay there for now.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. This one on Ember tries to bite into your leg. Mage armor, however, simply rebounds it. It's this other one that's fallen in between you and Grizz. He's gonna go for a quick bite on Grizz. Oof, that's gonna hit.
Yep.
You take 3 points of piercing damage as it noms your foot. Should have been wearing sandals. Tyro, you're up.
So this one took a hit from Tanner, and this one's taking a hit from Daya, and this one's uninjured, right?
It is now. Yes. Oops. Yes, that way around. Sorry, yeah, I took the health for the wrong one. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Okay, cool. Tyro's is Tyro like next to this one? Is it within striking range?
Yeah, you could go right up to it if you wanted. Or
No, he wants to get away.
Oh,
from
you
it.
want to get away? Yeah, you're small enough that you weren't actually in range of it.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna back up.
Cool.
Then he's
Oh,
going
grid in here.
to.
Who's that? Okay.
I guess since Daya's not being helped by anyone else right now, she's gonna go over to sort of behind Daya and level a sort of raise his fist in the familiar motion of the Toll the Dead spell.
Okay. At the one that's you're fighting. So yeah, I did realize that was a grid, but yeah. Okay. Wisdom
Such
save
a wisdom DC 15 saving throw.
fails.
I should take 6 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. You hear a kind of it's like a squeaking noise, like a. But it suddenly rolls over, and you see its rocky substance on its flesh sort of crumble away, and it's still wriggling around, but it has very much decayed.
What? It's dead, or
It's still alive. It's kind of
Okay.
wriggling,
alive.
but it's in a decaying state. Like the rocky substance has crumbled away, revealing it to be much more of a fleshy, like creature underneath its rocky exterior. And you've just crumbled all of that away.
It's tougher than I thought it would be.
Okay.
As in
Ember.
that's
more
just
resilient, not more difficult. Yeah.
Right, yeah. You've stripped that away. It's probably one clean blow to that soft substance is probably going to finish it now. Ember, you're surrounded by two of these
Yeah, as this one came down and struck out at me, just as a reaction of pure panic, the flames in Ember's hands just shoot out towards it, and what the fuck? Flame, 16 to hit.
That's a hit.
It would be on this one, which is the one that
Yeah,
Tanner
more
also
damage on.
whacked, and it'd be 5 fire damage.
All right. Yeah, you cook this thing up, and again, a squeaking noise. It's probably hitting and popping. You see its eyeballs just like actually pop from the heat.
Ah, get out! Gross, disgusting. I get. That's it for me.
All right. Now it's rolling around blind. Grizz, you're up.
Ow!
Yeah, it's dark
throwing
now,
it,
I guess, because that would cancel the fire. So anybody that can't see now can't see.
Oh god.
Alright. Okay, if Grizz doesn't have dark vision, then with his
I did still have a lantern out, so there is
That's
some
true.
light
Okay.
coming from the back.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, you've got
yeah.
some light. You've got some light.
Alright. Grizz will take a swing at the one next to him.
Okay, go for it.
Listen, great weapon.
Yep. Good job, I had that foresight. 3 is not gonna do it though.
13, okay.
Oh, sorry, you're reckless.
Reckless, yeah.
That's still not a hit, I'm afraid. You slam down. Unfortunately, you get the rocky side of it. And it just feels like you're striking a boulder.
It's too dark.
What are you doing, Grizz?
You have
I
to
can't
open
see
your
it.
eyes.
It is open. It's like, I think this looks like a thing like a rock. I hit an actual rock, I think.
What are we even fighting? Just getting revenge on the boulder? Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can do for now.
Okay. Poor Grizz. He was in his own little world. Alright, Cahoots. You can obviously assist someone. Who's gonna help?
Cahoots is going to swoop around to this one that Ember and Grizz were attacking. Or sorry, Ember and Tanner were attacking, and he's gonna dive bomb it and maybe try to freak it out on its blind side.
Yeah.
And hiss at it as he flies by to try to give assistance to Tanner.
Yeah. And trust me, barn owls actually hiss. They sound horrible. They like screeching and. Ugh. Anyway, Tanner, you're up. This one's looking real bad. Eyeballs
shit.
popped. It's wriggling around, trying to swipe at the owl. Cameron?
Sorry.
Sorry?
Sorry. I'm saying, yes. Right. Where am I? Where are we?
What are we? With Balrog then.
Okay, so I am going to... Yeah, I'm just going to keep smacking it. I don't...
Go for it, yeah.
Did fire seem to do much to it, or...
Yeah, it popped its eyeball. It seems like, although they look rocky, there is a fleshy interior. And it's probably not that they're resistant, but you just got to kind of burn away, or even maybe cook it alive inside its own shell. Who knows?
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to reverse my flail and just kind of spin it around so the chain goes around my arm. And then I'm just going to finger gun and cast firebolt at it. At
Okay.
the one on the floor.
You're in melee, so it would be disadvantaged.
Oh, does it count? Okay. In fact, never mind. Unspin it. And yeah, I'll just thwack it. Is it technically
okay.
pruned?
You would have advantage with Kahoot's helping, right?
Oh, perfect.
Realized the produced flame should have been disadvantaged as well, but that's alright.
That's why I use Produce Flame and not Firebolt.
Oh, is it? You can do it up to.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It just says make a ranged spell attack, but. Oh, that's whatever. Alright, nonetheless,
My
a
bad, you're
12. 12 is not a hit, I'm afraid.
Heck.
It seems to be wriggling around too manically, and you just hit into the solid earth. And it is trying to bury itself, by the way, at this point. Looks like it's perhaps trying to get away, you're not sure.
Okay.
The other one, still alive. We'll take that bite at... 16 is not going to hit, though. Okay.
Good.
After it... Go on. I was going to say
Yep.
something. It's not finished its turn. It's going to try and bite, misses. Seeing that you're way too nimble now, its essence of surprise has been lost. It starts to basically wriggle away and into the earth. It tunnels directly down, but it still counts as an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Yep, I'm gonna take. 14 to hit.
Misses. It's trying to bury itself into the ground, and I'm going to say that it's now got at least half cover, as it's got away and into the ground itself,
Yeah.
like all the rubble, like over
So
here.
is it gone?
No, it's just got half cover. You can still just see the tail end of it.
Okay. I'm gonna let. Okay, is it my turn now?
Yeah. No, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna move up to the one that's next to Tanner, flank
Mhm.
it, and gonna go for 2 unarmed attacks, or one unarmed attack, and then I'm gonna flurry of blows. 22 to hit,
That's a hit.
11 bludgeoning.
Crunch. And with that, you bring its wriggling to an end. You slam straight into it, probably just... You hear a snap, probably its spine just breaking, and it stops moving.
Okay, and then I'm going to I'm gonna move back to the one that had run away,
Yeah,
if I can.
you can.
And I'm gonna try to attack it again using the quarterstaff in the shovel blow motion.
Gotcha.
22.
That's a hit.
Okay.
Oh.
So 13 bludgeoning,
Oh,
Wow.
God.
and just like
Uh,
and
Just a question, is this flurry of blows?
yes.
I think you can only do that with unarmed attacks.
Oh, under attack? Okay, sorry. So I will try an unarmed attack then.
That's all right. It was still a hit, and just be the different damage. That's all.
Yeah.
So
7
blood.
damage
That's still
instead?
enough. Yeah, it's absolutely enough. You shovel down into it, and the tail end of it probably just snaps off. The rest of the earth seems to stop shaking as its digging is ceased.
Okay.
It is-
And it's dead? Is it gone?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit it one more time just to be sure. Double tap.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
all right. Where you snapped off the meat, you just punch into its soft interior. It's like punching a punching bag, really.
Yeah.
Soft meat. It's like. All right. Okay. It is Tyro's go.
The one on the left hasn't been
Nope.
injured yet, right? Okay. Tyro is going to ready an action to cast Toll the Dead the next time he takes damage.
Gotcha. Ember.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna duck down and dodge. I don't want it to bite me. As it's trying to bite me, I'm just like with my, I don't know, kind of like just backing off.
This one took a bite of Grizz last time, actually.
Ember,
also
don't worry,
disengage
I've
if
got you.
Regardless, I'm just gonna dodge.
Okay.
I got nothing else to do with this. Let my
Just slap
rest of
it.
my party take care of this problem.
If you don't want to be attacked by it, you could take the disengage action and it
Yeah, I could do
couldn't
that.
hit me.
Yeah, you know what? That makes more sense. I'll disengage and head back over the right of Tyro.
You could spend your action telling it about your Sultan heritage.
you're disrespecting the king here, bud.
Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
Do you know who I am?
Off your head.
Yeah. Do you know who I am?
I just realised I deleted the wrong one off initiative, but it's going to take its go now. I know it was definitely before Grizz was. So it'll take another nom at you, Grizz. And 13.
Miss.
Oh, okay, nice. All right. Yeah, it's your go.
Okay, as it kind of, I suppose, leapt up to try and take a bite, Grizz will react by swinging his great axe upwards, try and send it back into the ceiling.
Gotcha.
Same deal again. Reckless Great Weapon Master.
Okay.
It's an 18.
Oh, yeah, that's a hit this time.
That's going to be 18 damage.
Or
Oh, Jesus, yeah, like exactly how you say. As it springs off the ground, tries to bite you, you bring the axe to meet its face, probably chopping it in half. You see one half is squirming on the ground, the other half flies all the way up into the ceiling and gets impaled on one of the actual stalactites. Nicely done. Cahoots.
Uh,
But yeah, I'm gonna use a free action to make a little clapping motion. Impressed.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much. I mean, I've got to say, Miss Dolly, that you did that. That was pretty wicked. I didn't
Thank
really see much of it, but I could hear it. You were like, whack, whack, whack. I was pretty sure it was all you.
The crunching noise was pretty satisfying. I'm not gonna lie.
there's two of them now.
Turner.
Cool.
Oh, wait, sorry, was it?
Oh,
It was
what are
Cahoots.
these other
You
two
wanna?
ones?
Yeah, you can help that one.
Oh, it actually split into two.
You cut it into pieces, man. Yeah. But Tano, it's your go. You see Cahoots is pecking at the one on the ground.
Okay, so I'm gonna rotate around a little bit and just kind of stomp on it. And by stomp on it, I mean flail it.
Okay. Good. By flail it, you mean halberd it? Yeah.
Hell
Cool.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
so I swing it with my greatsword. I have 17.
All right. You leave it. You leave it a splat on the ground as the flail connects.
Smoosh.
All right.
Awesome. I just kind of like
Uh,
golf swing it with it.
Yeah, sure. It's going to end combat unless you want to do something cruel to the wriggling end of it impaled on the stalactite. But it's up to you guys.
Tyro's going to go over to the whichever one looks most intact and just start collecting samples, making notes about their anatomy.
Sure.
Oh, intriguing. These things seem to be stalactites at first glance.
Can I try just grabbing a rock and throwing it at the one at the stalactite?
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
I'm not
Tyro,
sure what kind of attack that is, but
just be a
be a
dex.
dex.
Yeah, just dex.
Dex. Yeah.
And also or your strength, even whichever's higher. But Tyro, you can make me a survival check to get some samples.
As everyone's just saying stalactite around, I quickly turn to Grizz and say, upside down rock before you ask.
Oh yeah,
you
that
read
helps.
my
Ooh, and that's a perfect survival check.
Fire.
Yeah. Tell me, Ty, are you aiming to like dislodge it from the top or just smack it so it's dead?
I want to smack it so it's dead.
Yeah, because I was gonna say
Right.
this thing is
I don't
so
want to leave
well.
this. I don't want to leave this behind us. It seems a
Right.
bad idea.
Okay, yeah. The other half of it gets hit by this rock so hard, kind of pushes it even further onto the stalactite. It doesn't come loose, but it definitely stops wriggling afterwards.
Okay.
And
That's satisfying. Yeah.
Good job, everyone.
Taro, with that, I'll say that you could investigate this thing and definitely pick up any part of it you'd like. There's an eyeball, there's teeth, there's the rocky-like skin, there's the mandibles.
Yeah, I'm probably most interested in maybe its skin, since that seems to have this like rocky
Mm,
exterior and appearance, but seems to have been deceptively like a stalactite.
okay. Yeah, investigating this, definitely you can tell that the skin is like an outer shell that has been evolved to perfectly mimic a cavern's interior. It is almost indistinguishable from a stalactite. And
Fascinating.
yeah, you can even see
Tyro, what are you doing? That's disgusting. Ugh.
You hear him like digging him with the dagger, like awful squelching noises as he's like
Ugh.
flaying the skin off of this thing.
Tyro, what exactly are you looking for? Did you lose your
Oh,
keys
you know,
or
it's just-
something?
Well, it's just always important to. Who knows when you'll stumble across another one of these, and it's always
Hopefully
important.
never.
Well, I wouldn't be so quick to judge that, given how many of these stalactites I see in this cave. But it's always important to take note of our first experiences with things, so that in case we ever come across them again, we can be adequately prepared.
Maybe you can grab one of them on the go, because we should probably get out of this place before any more of those stigmatites drop on us.
oh my god, the llama.
And who knows, maybe the skin will taste extra crispy the next time we fry it.
Just be ready
I'm a fan.
because. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, no. I'm a fan of frying up tasty meals, but I won't be frying that.
Yeah, he's like, you're maybe kind of accustomed to him being a little squeamish, like with
Hmm.
sort of like combat situations or things like that. But this is now that it's dead, it's basically an object of study. So he's very interested in that at this point.
A natural explorer.
And I'll say something else for something extra for the D20. I mean the natural 20 is that the interior of the creature, because you're slicing off the skin, right? The interior is very slimy, and that slime you recognize could actually be used as part of some sort of alchemy. Nonetheless, I'll say that you take a sample of that as well. For part of a
okay.
natural 20. Write down piercer slime.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Just-
nice.
Be on high alert, because if the stalactites are these creatures, I can't imagine a stalagmite might be any different. And as I say that, I turn to Grizz and say, right upside rock.
What?
They will.
They sound exactly the same.
It's a slight difference. In fact, if you look at that one and then look at it from another angle, you'll get both of them.
I see what you mean. Wait, can I just like call them the same? Like, if I want to do like the one that goes down, I'll just look up, and if I want to look at the ones that go up, I'll just maybe I don't know lie down or like turn my head Much easier that way, I think.
Strictly forbidden, Grizz. You would upset the archmages of Oxfordia. They would come after you with extreme prejudice.
Right. I've never met any one of them.
Very dangerous.
Okay.
We should probably press on before we cause
you
I
can
will,
poor
boys
as
in
we
pain.
continue on, I will occasionally just start chucking firebolts into the ceiling.
Oh man.
You can never be
Okay.
too careful.
You can never be too
Sure.
careful.
You dislodge a couple of the stalactites, sure enough, and they crumble, crack onto the ground, clearing a path ahead of you. But as you're making these stalactites fall, you realize what those tiny little specks of light were hidden behind them, or nestled inside the areas where they're probably most moist. Stalactites are formed as water drips from the ceiling, and a wet environment is the perfect breeding ground for mushrooms. And you can see there are tiny little specks of glowing bioluminescent mushrooms. You might be able to actually see them
No.
on the map.
But they look really nice.
Wait, were we supposed to be looking for? We were looking for coons, but not one.
I'm not sure if we're looking for bioluminescent mushrooms.
Well, you're not, but the light source up ahead.
Uh,
I mean, what if Tyro gets to, like, you know, poke at that slimy thing? Why is that? See why not? Anyway, I don't need your permission. I'm just grab one of them.
Hey, you do you, Grizz.
Grizzled?
Taste too good.
I mean, it's nice to have a collection of mushrooms. I've only got these ones, like the grey ones, but maybe, yeah. Wait, we've heard of, like, the bioluminescence mushrooms, right?
Bioluminescence.
What I will say though is the glow that's coming from at the very back of the tunnel seems to be giving off a very similar light to these ones, but much brighter.
can I study the bioluminescent mushrooms? And are they sort of natural? Are they any reason to believe that they'd be connected with the fiery sort of theme that pervades some of the upper tunnels?
Yeah, and I think Griswold is also trying to get those as well, right? So, did you say you were picking some, Griswold?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So Grizz can give me a survival check, and then you can give me a nature check, Tara. Ooh,
You're
okay.
just fixed dice
And-
here.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. The
I wish all the 20s were like, all the 20s are coming out on like, hey, fun facts kind of thing, and not, oh, hey, here's
yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
Nice.
I get all the mushrooms.
Jesus Christ, these natural 20s, guys.
All right, you can roll me a D12, Grizz, plus 4. No, plus 5.
I get 16 mushrooms.
I get 17 mushrooms.
Jesus.
Yep. And as you're going, Grizz seems like he's picking up on what looks to be like a breadcrumb trail. He's like, ooh, piece of candy, ooh, piece of candy. Eventually, he goes around into a central chamber. It's up this tunnel, basically, you're going. Right here. Ooh, there we go.
Ooh.
And you see Grizz has come across a massive mushroom. It's the biggest you've ever seen, Grizz. Because of that natural 20 survival, I will say this seems to be like the king of mushrooms.
Take a look at this.
And as you're getting closer, you're also investigating, Tyra. You can tell these are glowcap mushrooms, a form of mushrooms found growing underground and also in dungeons often. It glows with a pale light due to its bioluminescent chemicals contained inside. It has a very light, tangy flavor and extremely dilute lemons, like diluted lemons even. They can actually make for fine rations on like a dungeon dwelling, environment. So they're perfectly edible, and they provide light akin to like a candle, or in large batches they can even produce enough light to like a torch or a lantern. If those with alchemical proficiency can also prepare them as an optional spell component. They might be added to an electrical spell or something. I'll say with a natural 20, you can actually add them to like an alchemical spell like lightning bolt to do more damage. Or even like a what's the other one? Shocking touch. Yeah, that's the one.
Intriguing.
If-
I'll point these out to Grizz and say, if these mushrooms you collected are known for being delicious, when prepared properly, but I think even more useful than that, they may be of interest to certain arcanists and alchemists. I think we've come across quite a few of those in the hut.
Are you saying you want some of my mushrooms?
No, I'm just pointing out their utility, and maybe let's not eat all of them in one go, as it were.
Oh. Okay, well you can have some if you want. I've gotten quite a bit.
Oh, you hold on to them. I think they would make a nice, a nice little glowing helmet for you if you needed some light to see your way by.
Oh. Yeah, that could work.
last detail, because you rolled a natural 20, if plucked from their natural source, they only have a few days before becoming dry, flaky, and inedible. And this reduces to 2 days if exposed to bright light or dry environments. So you've got to keep them in a moist place, dark, moist place. Oh, this is getting bad.
Well, I
You're
only
gonna
have 2 armpits.
You're gonna have to keep licking them every hour, Grizz. Keep
Yeah,
them
we'll do
moist.
that.
Keep licking them.
That's so awful.
Oh my god.
I can Grizz will sort of protectively bunch them up and
So
sort of,
amused.
There's probably room in your crotch too, sort of dark and
Yeah, don't even think
worse
about it,
than
Chris. Yeah, don't stick them where the sun don't shine. Well, I mean, that's where they're supposed to go, but not right now.
Here we go. I'll say that
without
for every-
roll, does Grizz know if it's safe to
No,
eat
I'll
raw?
one of her scarves. Dia's gonna take one of her scarves and kind of dampen it if there's any, like, is there any streams of water on the wall? Like if there's stalactites, there should be some water flow. But she'll
There
just
is.
so she'll wet the scarf and wrap them up in the scarf so that they're in a dampened and just sort of tuck it into a pocket.
You guys
So
really
there you
like
go.
mushrooms, don't you?
It's less about the mushrooms. I'm not much of a herbalist, but more investment in the future, let's say.
Tyra
When we
nods.
return.
Tyra nods approvingly at what's the word I'm looking for? It's escaping my tongue, but
The mushrooms?
your effectiveness, I guess, and ingenuity. I think that's the one I was looking for. At using this scarf in an unconventional way. It's like, oh yes, I'm gonna have to remember that. Wet scarves to preserve mushrooms. It's gonna scribble that down as a
Thanks,
notebook.
yeah.
No problem, guys. I don't. Oh, if you keep them in your armpits, they might fall out when you punch things. It's practical.
That's a
It's a
very
matter of
good
practicality.
point.
Yeah. Not that the
Okay.
smell isn't great there, but
Ember continues firebolt.
Okay, sure.
Don't cause a cave in, Ember. We have to come back this way.
So-
My fire, at least not yet, is not that strong. But
The-
one day.
The cave keeps going up and up, and until you can hear the dripping and dripping sounds of, well, water running off of the ends of the stalactites. And Grizz, you notice this massive mushroom, and the glow of which is so potent that it's giving you enough light in this big cavern. And it seems as though there's not really many more tunnels this way. The only thing is this large stalagmite, which is where the water is dripping down onto, and it keeps on dripping onto the mushroom, which is growing out of the very top of the stalagmite.
Okay, so does it appear that this is sort of like the the end of this path.
It does, yeah. This is the mushroom. Here you go.
Hey guys, there's no way like beyond this big mushroom. Wow, it's a really big mushroom.
How big is the mushroom?
It is about 5 foot wide, actually. Yeah,
And it seems to be the source of the light, and
it is.
and when you say it's at like the end of a tunnel, is it
It's like a chamber.
okay? So
Like a
so
l-
it's not like it could be up against a wall, concealing a further sort of thing.
No. Tell you what, Tyra, because you're investigating the actual tunnel itself. Roll me a perception check.
Keep the natural 20s going.
Okay. 9. Yeah,
I used them all up, figuring out how good the mushrooms were.
that's it. You're looking around, and for any perhaps entranceway or tunnel, maybe there's one hidden behind the stalactites because you can't see all the way up into the ceiling. You have to get just directly below it. Though you see water dripping from them, and you see Ember launching firebolts up at them. They don't seem to fall or anything. You're looking around. I'm gonna say for this purpose, you're sort of like gonna grab you all, if you don't mind, because Dire's obviously providing some light. Tara, you've gone in and you're like looking around. Grizz is probably staring at the mushroom.
Okay.
And Tanner and Ember, I'm guessing you're just sort of by the entrance of it.
Yeah, not really
Yeah.
doing much good here.
Okay. Okay. Grizz, the mushroom calls to you. Not like literally, but like, are you gonna try and take this mushroom, or are you gonna leave it?
Oh no, he's not gonna take it. It's just...
Not gonna take it.
What?
Oh, the big one.
It's not going to fit in your armpit.
Wait, you mean the big one?
Yeah, the massive one.
Well, I mean, since you suggested it, I suppose yeah, Grizz would
I
probably.
mean, no, you don't have to. Like, it's just, I just must be a natural 20 on survival, I guess.
I don't know. I thought Grizz would see it as a sort of, I don't know, like a sacred kind of thing.
Oh right,
Sacred
yeah,
mushroom.
that's cool. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like the leader of the mushrooms.
Right, yeah.
Like,
he's the
probably
mushroom.
don't mess with it. Besides, he
sure,
got
yeah.
like 17 mushrooms anyhow.
That's cool. No worries.
But yeah, he tries. Does anything happen when he touches it? Like big mushroom.
Does anything happen when you touch it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something does happen. You see the mushroom shake, and a few drips run from the top of it and fall onto the stalagmite itself. And at that point, you suddenly see a small tendril. At first, you think it's like one of the roots of the mushroom, but it seems to creep up and start to feel around. And as you tap the mushroom, this tendril comes up to you and taps you on the chest in a similar fashion.
Oh.
You
Can
suddenly see a blinking as an eyeball opens up in the rock, looks around at
Oh,
the
boy.
group, and then the tendril starts to grip a hold of Grizz, not in a friendly manner. In fact, it wraps around your neck, Grizz, just
Oh.
backing away. And I need everyone to roll initiative again.
It's okay, everyone. He's just playing.
Why do all these rocks want to kill us?
Oh my god! My initiatives tonight.
Oh, I forgot to
Yeah.
correct that.
Yeah.
No, go away, Grizz. This is my spot up here.
Got that .03.
Be gone.
How long is that Shield of Faith good for, Tanner?
10 minutes, so.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know if it's been. I think.
Has it been 10 minutes since the last combat, Chris?
No, it hasn't actually. It's only been like
Excellent.
a minute or two. Well, 2 minutes, we'll say.
Cool. So you should
Yeah,
be
yeah.
good for this combat with +2 to your AC.
The hell is this thing?
It's a tendril, and it's around.
no, Roper!
Yeah, it
Oh.
wraps around Grizz and yanks him towards him. You are restrained, and you have disadvantage on strength checks and saving throws. Also, Red makes more attacks. Uses reel. Okay, and then it reels you towards it, Grizz, as you're like trying to get away from the mushroom. Suddenly, you get close enough where you see a mouth suddenly open up, and instead of like the tiny little pebble-like teeth the other one had, this is a jaw filled with these menacing-looking sharp teeth, and
Yeah.
it
What
bites
was
into
that?
your flesh with all its might
Uh,
for a 12.
Oh, thank fuck.
That was close.
now you miss.
That was close because this you do not want to be hit by that.
No.
Grizz, you're at the top of the round, and tell me how exactly are you stopping the thing from biting you?
Grace is gonna go ahead and grab his great axe and sort of wedge it,
Oh crap! I've got to do his other 4 attacks.
kind of slap it away, like slap
Mhm.
its mouth away from Grizz, and Grizz kind of just wriggles about trying to get like an angle to swing at it, but he
Okay.
doesn't like being restrained like this one bit, and it's gonna let out a roar in rage.
Okay, rage.
Yeah, he'll take a swing at this bad boy. Oh whoa! Are those more attacks?
They were. I forgot to do them, but it looks like I'm actually missing with everything. Tara, what's your AC right now?
It's 13 with the mage
Oh.
armor.
It is 13. Okay. In that case, one tendril does hit.
Which one's up for Grizz?
Uh,
So
okay, so, sorry. So, do I know that it?
this
hit
was
me?
its surprise round, and I totally forgot that it has 3 more tendrils. But
Okay.
the same thing happened. You don't get reeled though. You're only just grappled and restrained. That's all. That's the only difference. Grizz is also grappled and restrained, and it's been pulled right up next to it. The other one, that one went for Dire and missed completely, and the other one went for Ember, and I think his AC is 14, right?
16 now because
Yeah.
of Shield of Faith.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, yeah. So that misses. The only thing that's different is Tyro, you're also grappled and restrained.
Got it.
But you're about 10 feet away. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, Grizz. So you've raged and you're bringing the great axe down.
Actually, he'll try to
Uh-huh.
swipe at the tendril. That's wait. Can he do that? Can he try and sort of free himself?
You can totally go
Right.
for the tendril, yeah.
Okay. Grizz will do it recklessly, so it's just flat roll, but it won't be with the Great Weapon Master. He'll just sort of try and be a bit more precise. I want to go the here. I've got it here. Cool. 1 sec. That's 15 against the tendril.
15 against this thing cracks straight into its rocky exterior. And this time, there doesn't
No,
seem
I
to
mean,
be a
on
soft
the tendril to try and
Oh, the
be
tendril.
free.
Okay, sorry. Check that AC of the tendril. Each tendril can be attacked. It also has a flipping high AC. So apparently these things are really hard to hit because the tendrils, although not rocky, they are whipping around so fast you're unable to like get a hold of it. Yeah. Unfortunately.
It's an action to try and like free from the grab. I can't use my movement to try and get away from the.
Yeah, it is an action.
Okay.
But you had the right idea. Perhaps just cutting it off would be easier, and you'd do some
Okay.
damage in the process.
Okay, no, that's his turn.
Okay, that's your turn. Tanner.
Awesome. So I'm gonna start spinning around my flail and sprint towards it, and I want to try and. Yeah, I'm just gonna swing for its face.
Okay.
So flail comes round, thwack, and divine smite.
Oh, I'm afraid that's a miss.
Huh?
What?
What?
Yep. This thing is rock hard.
Sorry,
Your
Chris.
flail impacts it, doesn't even
Oh.
budge.
Oh
Uh,
It's
my.
Chris, I think you broke
firmly
up a bit.
ingrained in the ground, and you probably did more damage to your flail than you did the actual creature.
Chris, I think you broke up a bit. You said that missed.
Yeah.
I rolled a 19.
These
Yes, you
things hard
did.
to hit. Holy
We're level
shit.
4?
That's right.
Okay,
Yes, you are.
just making sure I got my facts right. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Alright, no worries.
Right.
Well,
Ember.
hold on, I got a bonus actually.
Give me a bonus.
And
No,
Tyro, what's your AC at?
I'm 13.
13. I'm gonna. Can I use 2 concentration spells
no.
if they're the
Oh,
same
you
spell?
can use a
I don't-
concentration spell, but drop the other one.
Okay.
I'm planning on not being here in a second.
Okay, no problem. Well, in that case, yeah, I'll just maintain concentration on embers. Cool. That's
Okay.
fine.
Alright. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. You were gonna say?
So is there the mushrooms on this thing's head?
Yep. Giving a
And-
great amount of light in here.
And okay, I will. How long? So it reached out and tried to hit me with a tentacle. How long did I get? Did I see the tentacle at all? Like in terms of how long it was, by chance?
Yep. You see it wrapping up the floor, and it tried to grab around your leg, and you're about 10. You're about 10 foot away from it. And one went for Dire, and that was about. Wait, Dire's only like 15 foot away from it.
Okay, I will move 30 feet away from it, and turn to it and look. Eh, I suggest that you not harm us any further and get out of here, you terrible tentacled beast. And I will cast suggestion.
Oh,
Oh, you got this. You got this. I believe.
wisdom save. I think you're going to be unpleasantly surprised.
Yes,
What?
that is a success.
It's because of success. Because somehow this creature's eye suddenly looks towards you. Its body doesn't move, but it kind of like side eyes you and then squints. And one of the tendrils comes up and wags like a finger.
All right, well,
It's
you made
so
your own decisions then.
mean.
That's it. My turn. Actually, no, I will use. I was a 15 to 15, so I'll move 45 away. I'll be backing up as I'm taunting it. And I will
Okay.
also roll a 1.
Alright, let me just
Uh,
move this onto the map.
27. The fuck is that? For the next minute, all your spells with a casting time of 1 action have a casting time of 1 bonus action.
Nice, dude. Holy shit.
Don't know what the hell that would really help with, but we'll see.
Alright, Ember, you're down here now.
Okay.
Okay. Dire, your go. And you see a tendril that tried to wrap around your arm with the lantern,
Yeah.
and you quickly ducked out of the way and dodged it.
Okay, so remind me who is grappled right now? Like, is
Oh,
Grizz
Tyro.
and just Tyro?
And Grizz, yeah, I'll put
And
this icon on them.
Okay.
we go.
You can see that
Okay.
Tyro's like making a move to cast a spell.
Okay. I'm going to go up to where Grizz is grappled, and I want to attack the tendril with a longsword. I'm gonna pull it off of my back and try and swipe up to try and essentially cut it off.
Okay.
So let's see how this goes. Ooh. I'm guessing that's a miss.
I'm afraid it is.
It's at the tendril, not at the roper itself.
Yeah, the tendril seems to whip around wildly, and it is almost impossible to hit, it seems.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a key point and do 2 unarmed attacks at it. Try and strike it.
Okay. Roll away.
17.
17's a miss.
And oh god. Okay, that's a whole bunch of nothing.
It is all misses. You're punching, and
What's
it
this
feels
thing,
like,
buddies?
well, if you're still going for the tendrils, it just seems to dodge and whip out of the way. Every time you're about to make a connection to the spine of it, it just whips around and slaps you across the face there.
I go,
Slaps you away.
oh.
It does have two other tendrils that it's also not trying to grab people with, which are
Yeah.
being used defensively.
Okay, I'm gonna what else can I do? What else can I do? Not a whole lot. If this is not I'm gonna back up.
Okay.
Get out of range as far as I can.
Okay.
Over to where and try and
Roll.
regroup and figure out how to attack this thing.
Okay, it will take an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh god.
Oh shit, that hurts. Yep, that
Okay.
hurts.
As you try to reel away, you see the mouth suddenly extend out like a goblin shark. If anyone's ever
Oh
seen that.
god, yes I have. They're
Mhm.
gross. That's where.
And it just bites right down on your arm. Well, 22.
Holy shit!
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's not good.
That's an entire
Real bad.
tyro.
Wow.
That is a tyro. Yeah.
It literally strips the flesh off your arm.
That's
Oh, that's not good.
that's a
I have
regrettable attempt to flee.
That is
I have so-
yeah. I should have patient defended that, but I didn't want to use the key point, so okay.
Also, the direction you're running in would be the same as Ember. Whoops, messed that up. Because this is only a smaller chamber, right?
Yeah. I'm running towards the wider area.
Diane, what are you doing? Go punch it!
Okay.
Did you
there
see
you go.
that thing? It's not punchable. Use your magic. Burn it.
Okay. Alright. Have we had Tara yet? No, we haven't. Oh god. Still. This is going to be bad. So it's going to make its tentacle attacks once again. This time, one for you, Tanner.
Mm-hmm. Miss.
16 miss. Correct?
Yep.
Okay, so one wraps around. You're usually able to flail it away. It kind of gets knotted in your chain instead. And then it recoils. And... Yeah, I don't like... It doesn't like you trying to get away from it. So... two tentacles.
Protection for the first
Oh,
one.
okay, sure. This will be a disadvantage against you, Ember. Tendril, 9. Okay. You see this thing wrap up against the... it just pulls forward, and you see Tanner's basically just barreled into it with his shield, and it basically makes the tendril kind of go all floppy, and it pulls back again. That's annoying. All right. Another one goes towards Dyer.
Well, it has 4, right? And 2 of them are tied up. A third one attacked Tanner, and the fourth one attacked me.
Mm-hmm. It's got 4 a turn, and it's got 6 tendrils.
Oh, it has 6 tendrils. Shit.
Yep.
Oh my god.
2 of them are being used.
What
to
is this terrible?
A thing of nightmares, I will say
It
right
really
now.
Okay, this one's for Dyer.
Guys, this
Misses.
is bad.
Okay. You see it trying to be really sneaky, and as one of them was going for Ember, you easily battered it out of the way, but a sneaky one coiled across the ceiling, and it winded its way between the stalactites, and then suddenly comes down behind you, Dyer, tries to wrap around your neck, but you quickly duck out of it before it tightens at the noose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The last thing it will do is a reel, and it's got 2 options. You can reel either Tyra or Grizz. Let's see. Who does it want to taste more? One is Grizz. Okay. Grizz, you're taking the bite attack.
Come at me.
Actually, it can do both, but it's going to do the bite on you, so that'll happen. 9 miss.
Nice.
Oh, thank
But
fuck.
Tyra, you are reeled towards it, and that's going to end its go. You're up,
my
Charlie.
God.
I think Cahoots is actually first, but I roll my initiative after, so they get out of order.
Oh, really?
So I think Cahoots is going to.
Sorry about that. I'll
I think
make
Cahoots
him
is going
do-
to shriek an
yeah.
alarm. Yeah, he'll shriek an alarm at like all of this happening. He is still going to dive bomb this. Well, actually, is the mushroom part of? Does it seem to be part of the creature?
It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's been growing on it. It's definitely a glow cap, but it's grown
Okay.
to a size. Probably because it's positioned it in the perfect environment, and it's grown it as like almost a trophy of its own.
I see. It's sort of its bonsai tree, as it were.
Exactly, yeah.
Um,
It's quite a nice hat. I really like it. Look at it. It's great.
Cahoots is going to
That's underneath.
harry this horrible tentacle creature and give advantage to Grizz, and
Gotcha.
then swoop away.
Okay, Tara, you're up.
Well, actually, he can fly 120 feet. He's probably going to fire 60 feet. He's probably going to go as far as he can.
Yeah, he can go
way.
all the way back out down the tunnel if he wants.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. Okay, Tara, you've got action. This thing is deadly. You've just seen what it
Okay.
did to poor Daya, and that could have been you if it hadn't.
Yep.
Oof.
Taro's not too pleased about being in the same situation as the mimic in the barrel the other time around. He is going to. He gets kind of a panicky look in his eyes, and he points over towards Daya and Ember, towards the back of the cave, and he. You can see him kind of like make a quick circular gesture and then snap his fingers, and he'll cast Misty Step.
Nice.
Good job.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right, so he'll let me see, 30 feet.
All right. The tendril trying to whip around, find out where the prey just went, feeling across the floor, the ceiling. It doesn't know where you just did to.
Then I'm going to use my
Oh, God.
remaining movement to go here. That's a bonus action, so I'm going to spend my action.
You've got movement as well.
Yes, I use my remaining movement to keep going away from this
Okay.
horrible thing. Because it was still able to attack. Did I see it try to? It was still able to attack like Ember from where he was
It
standing,
did. Two
right?
tentacles were reaching out to Ember and Daya. Yeah.
Yeah, not okay with that. So we're just going to keep backing up. And
Okay, cool. So that was your movement with bonus action. Did you say you were using an action to dash? Hello?
Who are you talking to?
John?
Tyro used his action to dash.
Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, Ember. Oh, sorry, Tanner. Grizz.
Grizz, yeah.
There we go.
Right. Okay, since I know advantage doesn't stack, but if Cahoots is giving Grizz advantage and he were to attack recklessly, would that still be a flat roll?
sorry, I unlocked.
It is still a flat roll, I'm afraid, but
That's
you
fine,
wouldn't have the you wouldn't be hit with advantage, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
so he'll do that then.
It can be used to do anything. It doesn't have to be an attack. A help action is you gain advantage on any action. But yeah.
Okay.
All right. If you want to attack it, go right ahead. And you're going for the tendril again.
Yeah, the one that's holding Grizz.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Also, just.
sorry.
Never mind.
I was going to say, just before you roll, can he roll to escape? To break out?
No, you can't do both. That'll take an action.
Yeah.
But he can use his action to break out.
Yeah,
You
can.
could use his action to break out. Yes.
Yeah, I just have the same kind of. I have the same modifiers if I were to attack and try and be free.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. I think I got disconnected. I was planning on using my action to cast minor illusion.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
And-
Would you want to cast an
and
image?
No, it's
Sound?
a sound of
Okay.
like a steadily growing cave-in.
Okay, interesting. Like tremors and such.
Not
Sounded like cracking stone.
Yeah, cracking, like ominous sort of rumble kind of thing, coming from like directly
Okay,
under
cool.
the ground.
Under the ground of
Under
the
the roper, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Sorry about that, Chris. What were you deciding?
Yeah, debating whether Grizz will just attack the tendril that's holding him again.
Okay, roll to attack with advantage.
Oh, with advantage.
Yeah, you do have advantage. They just don't stack. You can't have like double advantage, right?
Yeah, because the reason I asked was Grizz is restrained,
Oh, you're
so which means
restrained, aren't you? My bad. Yes, you're
advantage on
absolutely
attack,
correct.
So even if I were to attack recklessly alongside
No,
Hoot's
you're right.
help action, it would still be a flat roll. So instead,
You're
I'll
correct,
just do it. as a normal
I completely forgot.
attack. Okay, let's try this.
Roll big.
Oh my goodness.
Roll big. Not big. Have you got bonus action? No.
No. I mean, to try and break free from the grapple is an action, so.
It is, yeah. Might have to be that in the future. Who knows? For
What's-
now.
Sorry, bear with Grizz. What's your strength at?
17.
17. Oh, so it's +3. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stacked on con instead.
I'm stronger than Grizz.
Yeah, no, you can't do much more than that.
Okay. Tanner then.
That's it.
Awesome. So, I am. Does this creature look restrainable?
Really strong.
Restrainable.
Does
It's
anybody have a
cool.
net? I have one, but I'm not wanting to get too close.
Maybe? Maybe Tanner?
No. No,
Depends what you're trying to do.
No, do you know what? I'm going to use my action, and I am going to use the shove action, and I'm going to try and Spartan kick it, so it moves away. And
All right.
yeah, I want to try and get in between him and Grizz.
Okay. That'll be an athletics check.
Mm-hmm. Ah!
Oh no. Okay.
And there it comes.
So you barge into this thing, trying to snap it or shove it away, and it's like running into a brick wall. You just slam into it, fall back onto your knees, or onto your hands and knees, and then you pick yourself back up, and you realize you haven't even moved it an inch.
Fuck.
It's like you ran into a bollard, or like a steel pole, and you just hear a.
God freaking damn it. Right. Very sorry, Amber, but bonus action, I'm going to move my my Shield of Faith onto Grizz.
You can move it?
Well, I'm just
Or you're
recasting
recasting it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. You just see two tendrils also slow clapping you.
Right, no need to rub it in. We haven't actually scraped this creature, you little shit.
Yeah, we've done exactly 0 damage to this thing. I
Okay.
think we need to
It
get
is
the hell away.
it is
and then
Ember's
yeah,
go, and you
melt
just
it.
saw that a tendril could actually reach you from here.
Hi, I thought I told you to go to sleep. I really suggest it's time for a nap. I will once again attempt fucking. It's just it's a little caved-in room. There's nothing else in here, right? With this creature.
That's it.
Fuck out of here. All right. I'm going to.
15 this time.
That's good.
It's
Jesus.
still a pass.
Fuck.
R.I.P. Smoke Sluts. Fuck. We'll go back another 30 feet, trying to leave as hoping that.
Yeah. You just see the creature's eye roll in its form.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ember, you're back all the way away.
Yeah, we're good.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You're literally on the edge of the map at this point. Dia, you're up.
Okay, is this creature considered small, medium, or large?
Large.
Large. Okay, what I want to do is tell me if this is feasible based on how the tendrils are flying around. Is
Mm-hmm.
rush up to it, cover it with a net, including Grizz, and just pull it tight so that the tendrils are restrained.
Possible. Possible in that you could get one of the creatures in. You're saying you're trying to get Grizz as well, though.
I don't see you like. I would like to. If there's a way to get the creature itself without the tendril that's holding Grizz, obviously that would be better. But I don't know if that's feasible.
Okay.
That's what I would like to try to do.
You have a net, though, don't you?
I do have a net. I picked one up in the village.
All right, let's have a look. It is a large creature can be restrained by the net, and there's no roll to hit by the looks.
No, I don't think so.
Action.
It can free itself, I think, with this.
Yeah. Sure. Doesn't look like there's even a roll to hit or anything. Oh no, it does say range properties thrown. Okay. So I think you do have to throw it at the very least.
I do have to throw it. Okay.
Or
What's
you say you're
the
going
range
up
then?
to it.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I have 45 feet of movement plus a dash action if I want to use that.
All right.
So I could in theory get up to it, net it, and back off. I don't think I could get up, net it, attack, and back off, which would be ideal. But
no, I think the most ideal thing, because it will probably take an action to throw it.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be a case of popping a bonus action for a step of the wind and running in and running out. However, if I'm 100% honest, we need to get the fuck out. But
The other.
I don't want to abandon Grizz. Okay, well.
Oh
the
no,
other thing we
I'm
could do
with
is-
him. I'm with him.
You're with
I
him.
can
Okay.
cast because I'm gonna go right after it. I can cast magic missile to try to blast it off of Grizz to see if that does enough damage.
Yeah.
That could do.
Okay.
And then Grizz
Yeah.
could try to get away.
Yeah. I'm gonna back up 15 feet, and I'm gonna just fire a short bow. Which is not a lot, but If I can't get close enough to restrain it, and even then the DC to break out of a net is fairly low, so it might not even do anything.
That's true.
So
But reading it, it says the net has a throwing range.
mm-hmm.
It's listed as a martial ranged weapon, but doesn't inherently state that you're required to throw the net in order to use its effects. Only that it hits. Which is why I'm kind of confused by it. But
like if I'm throwing it, it would be a martial, but if I'm going up and just laying it over kind of quickly, like
yeah.
throwing a blanket over somebody, like it's not going to take a whole lot of expertise.
But I think it is considered a ranged attack from my experience. I'll look it up more when
okay, no, it was just an idea, but I agree that it's maybe not feasible. I'm just gonna short bow it.
Okay, roll to hit. Are you shooting at the tendril that's got Grizz?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
I am.
gotcha. Alright, roll to hit.
Oh, fuck.
It's like trying to hit
Pardon my French.
Yeah, it's like trying to hit a piece of string from like 60
yeah,
foot away.
yeah. Okay, that is all I'm going to do. That
Okay.
is, I can't do anything else, and I've got
Okay.
nothing.
The tendrils
Sorry.
once again whip out towards you guys. Tyro, Dire, even one of them goes up towards Cahoots, and all of them comes whipping towards you. You'll brace yourself or try to dodge out of the way, and you see the tendrils get completely taut,
Oh, thank God.
and they are just barely tickling your nose, Tyro. You are just out of range.
Oof.
The other one
That's
goes
just where I like
towards
to be.
just the one. All right, Tanner. 21 to hit you.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, you're grabbed and restrained. This gets worse and worse, but it's gonna try and reel one of you in. Let's see. Again, D1 is a 1 on the D2 is Grizz. Okay, it hates you apparently. It's gonna bite straight
Protection.
into Grizz. Oh, you got disadvantage because suddenly you see as Tanner's yanked in, he uses his shield to bash the thing in the side of the head. Oh my god.
Wow.
You are raging though, so you only take
yeah.
10 points of piercing
Jesus
damage.
Christ.
Still hurts.
Yeah, the teeth sink
Oh,
in.
were you raging? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you grimace
Yeah,
through.
even with Shield of Faith still hits. Up to 17 with Shield of Faith.
Oh man. All right, Cahoots and Tyro.
Cahoots flies. Oh no, he doesn't have enough range to get there and back. Never mind. No, Cahoots is gonna stay back.
Okay.
Tyro is going to magic missile.
The tendril.
The tendril. Yeah, the one that's
Okay.
holding Grizz.
Roll to nothing. So you hit and draw damage. It's an auto hit because
Damage.
unlike these arrows, these are guided missiles, and they all sink straight into the tendril, up its length. Okay. You just got to do more than 10.
Oh, that's not the right. How do I do it at?
What level are you doing it at?
I'm trying to cast it at the highest level of spell slot I have is 2, but I can't.
Are you casting it from D&D Beyond?
Like when I click on the, let me just roll with dice. It'll be easier that way.
If it's a second level, it'd be 4d4 plus 4, right?
So on
Yeah, there we go.
that one on the Grizz tendril.
Okay, that is enough to bust the tendril free. You see that every single missile goes up the slither from the base to the very tip and just blasts the thing off. And you hear a... And Grizz, you see yourself freed from the creature.
I'm gonna yell to Grizz, "Get out of there!" and then back up even further, seeing not taking any chances about the tautness of those tendrils.
What? What, back out from a fight?
Chris!
Mm,
There's plenty of fights beyond. Get out.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to roll for this.
Can I roll persuasion?
It is his flaw.
Oh
Tell you what.
no. Oh,
Tanner, you roll persuasion. Grizz, you roll... Is it... What would you consider this? Like an intelligence? Or your wisdom?
Let's say wisdom.
No!
Wisdom makes sense, doesn't it?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Roll
it's
less
a
than a
wisdom
5.
save.
Yeah, because he perhaps doesn't see the actual threat. It's not about not knowing the danger. It's about does he perceive if it's...
Yes!
Are you kidding me?
Little bits. Good roll.
Success with a natural 1. Hannah makes a very weak argument, but you trust him. He's your friend, and you should listen.
Right.
It's like, Grizz, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it.
Well, what about you? You're stuck in there. Do you want me to chop that off for
No, I'm fine. I'm fine, man. I'm fine.
you? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't want to leave you.
I thought I should be good. I should be good. Just get out of here.
I
Get
got-
safe.
Okay.
Run.
If you don't, I'm coming back for you.
I got you.
Okay. Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. Yeah, so Grizz will. Oh god, he's gonna take an action to
He could do one of two things, couldn't he? He could disengage, or he could
engage. Yeah, but then he'd still be within reach on its turn. Because
Right.
he's gonna
unless
go
he
through.
dashed.
But if he
Wait, if
Can it-
Grizz dashes, how many attacks of opportunity is he gonna trigger? Like all, like 5 of
One.
the other
Just
trans.
one.
No, just the one.
From
Unless
the,
something's got more than one reaction, you
will
can
it
only
be
do one
from a tendril or from a bite?
It'll be from the bite.
Okay, cool. So he'll risk that because if the tendril hits, then he's screwed anyhow.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he'll move. He'll take the attack of opportunity, and then
Okay.
he'll move 60 feet plus with his dash action.
Oof.
Up to right next to that.
All right.
Yeah, he'll take.
It's 22 to hit.
It hits.
Okay. You take 8 points of piercing damage,
Cool.
and you see the teeth scrape down your back as it tries to munch on you. But you're out. And you get back to the same range as Dyer, where you see a tendril whipping at her face, but just barely out of reach. This goes to Tanner.
Cool. So I'm going to use my action to try and break out.
Okay, it's a strength save, I think. Let me check. It is a strength check.
Strength check. Strength or
Mhm.
athletics.
We'll go with athletics, sure.
16.
That's a pass.
Oh,
Okay.
Sweet.
You managed to yank this thing free with all your might, probably because you've got the shield butted up against his face and slamming into the side. It's more trying to get rid of the shield than it is gripping a hold of you. And just as you pulls the shield away, it realizes you've pulled yourself free.
Back to the depths from whence you came. And I'm going to leave.
Okay, and no attack of opportunity because he's already used his reaction.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
But I can only move 30 feet, so I get.
30 feet.
Wait, is that right? I think I win.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, Ember. Thing is still going.
Yeah. Technical question, Chris.
No.
Just for future reference, I was reading my spell more carefully, and I think even if that check would have passed, it would have done nothing because I don't know. It has to be a creature that understands me. I'm not sure.
Okay, right.
I mean, it's my fault, so both spell
No,
slots
it's
are
not a
all
problem.
wrong.
But you don't know if he can understand you or not. So at the end of the day,
Just wanted to bring that up. Cool. All right, and does there appear to be like any tentacles chasing after Tanner?
there is. There's
I
several.
will, game recognized game. Everyone else is clear, or are these not clear yet?
They are out of danger. One is just trying to reach Dyer, but it's at the very.
What if we
Cool.
hold our actions so that Tanner can get free to attack it if a tendril hits Tanner?
Clever.
Yes. Okay, I will do that. I will hold the magic missile and release it on a tendril that ensnares Tanner.
Love it. Okay. Dyer.
Let's try the short bow again. And again on the tendril. So. Oh my god,
So he's not being he doesn't have any tendrils on it right now.
No, not right now.
Oh, actually, okay. Then I will fire at the creature itself, like right into the bulk
Okay.
of it.
All right. I'm afraid same result. The arrow clatters off of its
Yeah.
hard exterior.
Yeah.
Yeah, afraid so.
And I'm just,
Um,
I'll just use a bonus or a free action to beckon Tanner desperately closer.
I really want to go. Don't worry.
You've still got movement. You see Grizz is running full pelt as hard as he can. But something
as long as I'm out of the range of the tendril, I'm not too panicked. But I am gonna move like another 15 feet back just in case.
Cool. Okay. Because there is something that might panic you, and that is the fact you hear that same cracking and rumbling underneath it, but this time,
Ooh,
not an illusion. It's real.
it's moving. Oh crap. Yeah. Yep. I'm
And
gonna.
you
Okay.
start to see the creature
If
is pulling itself towards. It's this grinding sound as it's yanking itself towards Tanner.
Okay, that's fun. I'm gonna full tilt run out 45 feet as
Yeah.
far as I can get. Yep.
Okay. Do you want to drag Grizz with you? You could do.
Can I?
You can drag him like half movement.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do
Okay.
that.
You just grab a hold of him. He looks like he's right at the edge of his run. And you grab him and drag him another 15 foot together. As the thing starts to emerge from its hidey hole, Tanner, it makes a tentacle attack at you.
Gotcha.
22.
Oh
no! Everyone, magic missile comes in for. You can also roll a hit with the fire bolt, was it? Or was it a produce flame?
No,
Magic missile.
Oh, you rolled magic missile. Okay, sorry. All right. That
if one ensnared Tanner, I would magic style the one that would.
okay. That is 5, 10. 10 damage. That's exactly what you needed for a tendril. I'm not even kidding. That's amazing. So you see once again these huge tendrils are weakened at 3 parts in the joint, and it snaps as Tanner you pull away with it.
Run,
You've still got,
Tanner! Get out of there!
you've still got a bit left on you, but it's gonna end its go. Cahoots.
Cahoots is going to. Oh no, Cahoots not going to do anything because it's. I guess Cahoots will actually fly up to Tanner. And I guess I'll just like come up here, buffet him in the back to give him like an extra bit of tailwind, and then come back.
Gotcha. Okay, Grizz, you're running.
Yeah, can I throw a jab? Can Grizzly throw blah blah? I can't even speak anymore. Throw a javelin at the big guy. Wait, is Tanner?
Oh.
Tanner's no longer.
He's not restrained, no.
Okay, can you throw a javelin?
Mhm,
Frustration at the guy, at the thing.
I think we skipped over Tyro.
Can this be the first hit? Nope.
Yeah.
You turn around in the tight little tunnel and you try to
Yeah.
throw it. It hits a stalactite on the top and then bounces back and into your face. But it's the butt end of it, so it's just like dunk.
Chris, we missed Tyro.
Oh yeah, Tara, you gotta go. Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm gonna hold my action to cast Toll the Dead on any tendril that tries to grab Tanner, or if it does grab Tanner.
Okay. Alright, and Tanner.
So Tanner turns to the rest of his group and shouts, "Fly, you fools!" as he runs back into the fray. JK.
Grizz just
gets
Alright. With that, you easily outpace this creature as you run all the way back down the tunnel. And I'm guessing that because you see it coming down this, like quite literally this tunnel, you end up rushing back through the other cave.
Well, I have a question.
And,
If we can outrun it, why don't we just pelt it from range until it's dead?
Yeah,
Possible to hit.
Firebolt, run back 30 feet, firebolt, run back 30 feet. Yeah, I would do that, totally.
Yeah,
perhaps we should save our spell slots and come back.
I have
Fire
Firebolt's a cantrip, so it doesn't use up any of my spell slots to cast it.
True.
And the range is 120 feet.
But what happens instead is you guys are rushing out into this place, and you start to see this creature is wrapping its tendrils in the air, trying to approach at a very slow pace. Seems like it only goes like 10 foot around, but the tendrils are up high enough that they reach several stalactites, and he starts slapping them awake.
Oh no.
Mm.
And you see the remaining pierces that are still hidden within the depths of this cave, the ones you perhaps just barely missed with your firebolts, start to come down. And they're all slithering towards you. But perhaps you could stay and fight. But I think running is most definitely a good card on the table.
How many
Yeah.
stalagmites? Or stalactites?
I'll say another 3 come down at some point.
Yeah, no, yuck that.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
We
I don't
angered
want
the
to be
mother.
All
Hey,
right.
you're looking real rough there, bleeding all over the place.
Yep. I can run though. Let's run. I don't want to
Run!
do not want to get bitten by one of those
Run
worm
away.
things again.
Yep, I'm gonna
Okay.
start slapping Dyer on the back, and I use lay on hands.
Ooh,
Uh,
thank you.
I'm gonna pop you for 18 points.
I am going
Ooh,
to cast.
That's nice. Thank you. I'm doing a lot better.
Oh, I know what just happened. But I am going to cast Firebolt on like whichever tendrils are creeping towards us.
Yeah, they don't reach at this point, but you can easily fire one or two more off. Go ahead.
Yeah, for good measure, why not?
Go ahead. Give her a round. Oh my god, first
Oh,
blood.
it's a 10.
Yeah,
Hurt one of them.
I'm helping.
Finally, with the 23, that would hit for 10 points of fire damage. Killing another tendril, but at the same time, probably angering more of these things. And as everyone else is running, and you haven't used quite your full movement to dash, you start to see all the piercers start to coming towards you, but you're still out of range. Just letting you know that they seem to be honing in on the creature that's closest.
Yep,
All right.
go.
You rush back down the tunnel and you come back to the intersection that you were in before.
I just wanted to laugh last. That thing was mocking me with its eye. I don't appreciate being mocked. He doesn't know who I am.
That was definitely way too close.
That was.
Yes. Yep. That was way too close.
So, other tunnel then. I guess we're going to see the goblins.
It's like, wow, we nearly died in there. Let's see what's in the other one.
Wait, wasn't this the only pathway that that Grom led
There
us
was
up to? Was it?
Yeah, there was
There
a
were
fork in
two
the road.
pathways. You chose to go to the left, where the more unnatural looking caves were.
Which
And
was
it
the
was
dead
more.
end. This nasty creature.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or what appeared to be a dead end.
Fucking
With
ropers,
the glowing
man.
cat mushroom, yeah.
Fucking ropers.
Nonetheless, if you head down the other way, which I assume you are, you start to descend into much more cramped environment. You're having to like bend down. Tyro is absolutely fine here. Grizz is probably having the worst of it, scraping his arms against some of the surface, but it's not rough and uneven like the others. It seems smooth and tunneled, and you can see claw marks across every angle of this tunnel, the ceiling, the walls. And at this point, without the need for any perception checks, you can start to hear some sort of like barking slash screeching noise. It's if anyone's ever heard like a fox kind of like that, but yeah, and it seems to echo all the way up this tunnel. And there's more than one of these. You can hear like maybe a whole crew of these voices.
Grizz, do you recognize that sound? Is that a wolf or a what?
Does Grizz recognize that sound? Is that coming from the other way?
Pouring down from beneath the tunnel. It's getting louder though. Whatever it is, it doesn't sound like an animal.
Does it sound like it might be a goblin?
Roll me a nature check, and this is nature even despite them being humanoids.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Because-
Solid -1 on nature.
Okay,
It's
definitely a fox.
could be a fox. But it could be anything. It's definitely a creature.
Okay, that's good to know. That's
Yeah,
how.
Grizz just kind of you see,
Watch out for foxes, I guess.
you just see Grizz like looking visibly dejected and having to back out of a fight.
I'll pat him on the back and say there's going to be plenty more where that came from. But we've got to keep our safety #1 priority.
Fine.
Okay. you come into another set of intersections. Not just two options though. This time there are one, two, and then on a 5 foot one beyond that splits into three, and then one of the ones which splits goes into another like two. It's just starting to turn into a network of tunnels, and you're stuck for choices as to where to go. But you do sense a little bit of a hotter air coming from perhaps one of the tunnels. And there are still tremors. In fact, the tremors are loud enough that they're almost joining in with the chorus of these shouting, barking sounds. And
This,
yeah.
this, I think we're getting closer to the core of the volcano or whatever. Remember, this would be the Stone Song, right?
I would assume so.
And that's the thing we're looking towards, right? Just checking we're going towards the big noise.
I believe so. That would be where the cinders would be, I think.
Okay, yep. I'm gonna tighten my grip on my quarterstaff and sort of straighten my shoulders a little bit. Gear up.
Yeah.
I will.
I don't know if I have much to offer you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looking at Grizz, I kind of want to pump him with another spell.
Sorry, this token looks like he's tipping his hat as he kind of descends into there.
I will quickly cast Cure Wounds on Grizz.
Okay. As you cast this, and a light sort of erupts from the cure wounds, perhaps. Guessing it manifests quite brightly as a cure wounds.
Yeah, so I just kind of like place a hand over Grizz's wound, and it kind of just gives off this golden aura.
Nice. All right.
Healing for 9.
Okay. That scratching and barking
Angry.
sound, which I said was getting louder and louder, seems to be getting close. And you hear the barking and scratching and even clicking sounds approaching fast. And here it comes. The scratching is coming from one tunnel, there's a barking coming from another, and a screeching sound coming from one behind you as well. Something maybe even got behind, you're not sure how.
Ambush!
But from every direction, you start to see these tunnels filled with humanoid creatures, except they're not walking on their legs. No, they are clawing across the walls using these long claw-like nails to grip into it, and all of their heads are kind of turning from left to right, making this barking and clicking noise, like.
Shit!
And you see that as they get closer, your light illuminates something, and they kind of kiss and like. And you see that they are very much not liking the light. They don't just dogpile you though; they seem to just surround you, all across the walls, like, filling up the tunnels. And
What are they?
yeah, I'll give you some artwork here. And you see that their eyes are completely skinned over, like cataracts has grown over their entire face. Their eyes are just sewn shut by skin. They have these long, elongated ears used for perhaps echolocation, and their bodies are tempered with hot-looking skin, I guess, like a fiery resistant skin and exterior. And some of them have rocks and protrusions coming out of their elbows and sometimes their head, and it looks like the same texture that was on that spear tip. And as they all surround you with this hissing, barking sound, we will end tonight's session on that dreadful, terrifying note.
Okay.
I don't like it. It's
God.
Has anyone seen Descent? Because that's such a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
oh god.
Then yeah, you might be getting a Descent vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't end well.
What movie?
Descent.
Descent.
The Descent. Yeah,
So
it's
good.
a horror movie about a group of cave explorers getting trapped and not realizing what they were in for.
That doesn't sound familiar at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. Right.
Okay, I may have to try to get us out of this. I don't know.
No, you asked for combat.
Blaze your head as your hair as much as it can. Like go as fabulous and flamboyant as possible.
Interesting. All right, cool. Good,
Yeah.
good show, guys. Damn,
Oh,
that
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
was
Combat.
this write up should be a lot shorter.
Yeah.
I was hoping some
Left
goblin
the hut,
with like
got
very
fucked up.
low AC and
Session.
easy to kill.
Yeah,
With
this
some
little
mushrooms.
goblin
Yeah.
punting session, Sarah Jane. Yeah.
There are such things as wrong ways in the dungeon, right?
Made a bacon friend.
Everything is to be cleared and cured.
No, it's perfect. We did it the wrong way. I like that. So
Yeah.
Ugh.
I used a lot of stuff there. Unfortunately, I'm Tyro. I don't know what you got left, but I consumed a lot of my resources.
I'm very closely to being tapped as well. But I have a story about one of those creatures. But I'll say after the quick sign off.
Oh yes, we shall sign off. So thank you very much for watching. This has been quite a lot of intense combat, but I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. So we'll catch you next week, and also tune in tomorrow for the Curse Breakers, run by James. So catch you then. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.